Boys, is there anything worse than getting championed by not one, but two all-time Australian batsmen and then hit for six and then losing the test? Lucky Joffre brought his pillow. The Aussies win 2-0 heading into Adelaide. We are 4 nights away from the third test in Adelaide. We'll review the second test, the day-nighter in Brisbane, and look forward to Adelaide starting in a few days' time. The NFL has only got 4 weeks left. Lots of teams playing must-win games, trying to stay alive, and a few teams already clinched. Your Denver Broncos, my Packers, both looking pretty good. They play each other Sunday over in the States. We've got the college football playoff bracket is set. I'm not really sure how some of the committee's thinking goes. They have some rules around conference champs and letting some of the lower conference teams come in. So it'll be interesting to see how James Madison and Tulane go in the bracket. The NBA is starting to head towards Christmas. We know the NBA heats up at Christmas time. We'll have a look at what's been going on in the basketball. EPL, Liverpool still struggling. Man City on the rise. And the World Cup draw. We'll have a look, not just Australia's group, but a quick run through the World Cup draw, which was announced earlier in the week. UFC 323, a couple of new champs over there in the MMA, and Lando Norris wins his first F1 Drivers' Championship. We'll look back at the final F1 race for the year. This is On The Esky. It's an Aussie sports podcast. We like our Aussie sport. We like our world sport. And it is our last podcast from what has been our studio for the last few years. Man, am I right, moving house. I'm moving house. We're going to have a little break.
Christmas coming up.
Heading into Christmas, and resuming sometime in 2026. We do have timestamps on YouTube. You can skip to the sports that you like or just check out the whole thing. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, X, the like. And we'd like to start this show by shouting a beer for something sporting related. Shauna, you're looking very festive on my left. Who's your shout a beer for this last episode for 2026?
Yes, and I got to go with John Cena. He is, man, you can't see him. He is retiring after 20 years of wrestling. So officially his last match is on Sunday, which will be Monday our time. He's been on a year-long retirement tour. Like I said, 20 years. He basically took over post the Attitude Era. The first when he kind of switched to the WWE. From there, he's been a 14-time WWE champion and considered arguably the greatest to ever do it. And he's definitely in everyone's top 10. But I know a lot of people probably asking is like, how permanent is this retirement? By all accounts, it's probably pretty permanent. And there are a lot of reports his body's pretty cooked. 20 years of wrestling, maintaining that muscle mass now into, I'm assuming he's late 40s, early 50s now. So probably a few winks there to maintain that muscle mass. I think that's likely, and especially with his acting career kind of kicking off even further, just not movies but TV as well. I think it's finally time for him to hang it up. So a storied career there for old John Cena.
He's born April 23, 1977. That puts him at 48.
There you go.
Incredible.
That's insane.
What his body's gone through.
Yep.
Yeah, I think his knees, he's back, a whole bunch of things cooked. Some people have seen some of the videos of him, say, out on the town, kind of looking like he's hobbling around, or whether he's just dealing with injury or the like. But yeah, it's, the toll will have taken its out on him. So yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, massive career from John Cena. We don't talk a whole lot of pro wrestling on the show, but one of the greats hanging them up. Monk's another sport that we don't really talk too much about. You go over towards the extreme side. Who's your shout to be?
I suppose so, yeah. So you did mention at the top of the pod that we've got motorsports coming up at the end. So I'm going to shout Travis Pastrana a beer for finally getting it done in Australia with his latest iteration of Jim Harner. Awesome that it was in Australia. Seeing him do burnouts and drive down dirt tracks all through the outback and jumping onto Bathurst and all over the place.
Jumping over a road train was pretty impressive.
Jumping over a road train. We're about to hear him autoplane across a dam that could easily drown a car. Absolute scenes. Just hooligan.
He did that easy.
Oh, yeah.
It's like skimming a rock across a pond.
That's it, exactly. It's so cool.
He's no spring chicken now either. He's 42.
Yeah, so
42. Yeah.
On that, was his last Gymkhana. So Travis is kind of hanging up the Gymkhana reins, and someone else may take it over if Hoonigan continues to want to put on these kind of spectacles. But yeah, this was his last, and he's been focusing, I think, a little bit more on his own YouTube channel with some of the stunts. I think they did a jet ski somersault, like they had imagine a Hot Wheels track that does a full loop, and they did it on a jet ski. So that was something they were doing a couple of weeks ago.
You talk about Cena's body being cooked. How about this bloke's body?
Yeah. Oh, I think if you look at the list of injuries,
X-rays of his body.
I have heard that that's apparently not his X-ray, but
not his X-ray. Yeah,
I would believe it.
I believe it.
I think he's broken.
Looks like Wolverine.
Wrists, legs.
He does.
I think he's in 100s for fractures of body. Yeah, incredible,
insane. Yeah,
check it out. Some cool viewing there on Gymkhana 2025 on YouTube. I am going to shout the Indiana Hoosiers a beer. Expensive shout for me. Whole large college football team here, winning their first Big Ten championship in 58 years after they beat Ohio State last weekend. A bit of a defensive slug. I think it was 13-10 in that one, but it was their first win over the Buckeyes, period, in 37 years. So two undefeated teams going at it for the Hoosiers to take out the Big Ten and then jump Ohio State into the 1 seed. So they'll have next weekend off. We'll talk a little bit of college football playoffs about an hour into the show. And the really funny / endearing interview given by Fernando Mendoza at the end of the game. Hyped up, few testy pops, bit of Kirk Cousins about him. He doesn't swear. He said he's flipping pumped and up and about. And check that one out if you haven't seen Mendoza post game there. And he's all but wrapped up the Heisman, and sort of depending on how the order finishes, could be a number 1 pick. He's very likely to be the first quarterback off the board come April. So enjoy beer courtesy of the Esky for the Hoosiers and the bye week in the college football bracket, and we'll see how far they can go in a few weeks' time.
Yeah.
All right, our last mop of the year and a frequent of the mop of the week.
They would have the most, wouldn't they?
They potentially. I think rugby is like Rugby Australia, rugby in general. We've given a few out there, but the perennially disappointing West Tigers, their fans were out and about in protest today. Shauna, you've got a plethora of notes here to work through. Where did it start, say 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, well, it all looked good when they announced their new stadium at the end of November. And then it was really from the 1st of December where it kicked off. The majority owners, which is the Holland Barnes Group, the HBG, as we refer to them, removed 4 of the directors of the 7, I believe. The 7 board, late on that December the 1st, claiming the fact that they'd been left in the dark. So then from that, the fallout, because one of them, Barry O'Farrell, the former New South Wales Premier, to be sitting there, caught it a bit of a brain fart. And then we started getting the reports about, because that kind of split. We got to remember West is Magpies, and then you've got Tigers, which is Balmain. That the Magpies side of this is maybe where this kind of drama started unfolding. So, they've talked a lot about potentially going back to the Western Suburb Magpies. So it's always been their ultimate ambition. There's been the reports of the 25 years of war between the two fractions. And by all reports, it all kicked off with this jersey, which they announced, I think, like a couple of days before that, which one had the wrong orange, so it wasn't their traditional Tigers orange, but 2, they had too much orange, so it was too much Tiger, as you will. So that maybe pushed them over the edge, and maybe that goes back to that, you've made a decision about the jersey and didn't tell us, which is where HGB came into it, HBG, whatever, and they sacked him. So, that's starts all that shit off.
Didn't have the armed forces of the wrong nation on it by any chance?
Yeah, no.
As they've famously done in the past?
Yes. So, another jersey strife. So, they then started the call for that rally, which was happening today.
Big turnout.
Yep. So then on the 5th, there had been some dealings with Richardson's and his financials and stuff like that. Had been some complaints about how he was doing deals probably with his mates or his family. So on the 8th, he then resigns. So he's
CEO.
gone. Yeah. And, he had probably brought some stability to that club, and they'd actually find some decent form and hadn't gotten the wooden spoon.
Their best year in 5 years this year.
Yeah, definitely. So then from that, on the 11th, they appoint 4 more directors to the board, all from, say, the HBG side of it, to give them essentially the majority in the board. And then again, that kind of leads to, well, now they have the majority. When are they going to push for this rebrand of the Magpies, which is, again, being a big rumour? But my understanding is the current deal for the Tigers, because it's a heritage thing or something for that brand, is through to 2030. So that would be the soonest they would be able to do a rebrand. But they could maybe start angling towards that with maybe aligning it with a new stadium, for example. So we'll see how that goes in the works. From that, because of all this turmoil, there have been concerns about Benji's contract and him as a coach, where they had 7 of the senior players, and Buller and Luai were in that, come out and say, we'll walk if he gets sacked. So
which is, I think, a good thing.
Yes.
Having your senior
100%.
players saying, no, we want to play for this guy.
And a lot of the good comments are saying, like, he's really grown as a head coach. I see it. He's learnt so much from Sheens. Saw a lot of good commentary for that. So that kind of flowed through, and they sped this extension through. So he got extended another 3 years. I didn't write that down, but got extended. So you think there's some stability. They finally got some directors in, and then the last one is Dennis Burgess. They, got appointed, and maybe some people were like, oh, who is this bloke? Checked out his Instagram, and then figured out it was following a whole bunch of hotbirds. So it was just like, okay, too many sexually explicit pages is just like, it's not mine. It's someone else's there, but he's stood down. So. A fun 2 weeks in Tigerland.
Absolute shit show, but it's not out of the ordinary, I don't think, for the West Tigers of late. I just hope that it doesn't affect the playing group and Benji and,
they can keep some form.
Because like we said, they played the best that they've played in 5 years this year, and they actually look like a pretty reasonable footy team at times in 2025.
Managed to attract some good talent in that, and that's how you improve.
So you said they reinstated half the board that got sacked. Is that
no? They sacked those guys and then replaced them with they've filled the board back out,
right?
But they've put them with they're from the HBG camp as a replacement.
Yeah.
So still something to watch is this whole friction between the Magpies and the Tigers, let's say.
Dirty merger club, mate. Never works, does it?
Well, both our merger clubs haven't been overly great. I think in that 25-year period, each one has won one.
Comps,
so 2 comps in total.
So Tigers in 05 and Dragons in 2010, but the 2 of them over the last 10 years are sort of perennially out of
haven't been in the top 8. Yeah, exactly.
Not bothering anyone in September. So.
Yeah, and one of them getting a lot of wooden spoons.
Correct.
So, I think it'd be interesting to follow through whether the NFL wants to step in this. NRL, because what did I say?
West Tigers, NFL.
NFL. Maybe the NFL should step in.
Maybe.
and take over. But I think they need a single voice has probably been the challenge. And whether they can find a big name owner that wants to come in and buy the club and put his stamp on it. I wonder if the NRL will want to take that, or whether they appoint someone themselves to say, you're the main man doing all this and fuck this whole board thing off. But I think, as long as they're two clubs joined, forced to join together, it's always going to be a challenge.
Yeah. And famously just, poor retention of talent. You look at the, what could have been best 17 of the West Tigers over the last sort of 10 years.
Well, the whole Lockie Gavin stuff this year.
Obviously, it's not a talent pool issue in the Western suburbs. It's retaining and multiple different conflicting voices through the board, and as they say, too many Chiefs, not enough Indians. I think at the West Tigers. Just hoping for their fans.
They've been the worst run club in the NRL for a very long time.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of heat off our club, I think.
Just a little bit.
Yes.
Just a little bit.
We'll see how they
for now. We'll see how this year's fortunes go.
Well, that's the thing. They are building to something pretty good now, and they just need 1 or 2 seasons. Kind of like where the Bulldogs are at now. Like, had a couple
they're
of rough
probably
seasons.
2 years behind the Bulldogs.
And then see how it all goes.
See how we go. Still a good 3 months until NRL matches, but never a quiet week in the NRL media, is it?
No.
All right, let's talk some Ashes cricket. Australia win the second Ashes test. The first time the day-nighter has been taken to Brisbane. There was a few ins and outs for both teams. So Aussie, is Gary Jack was no good. He was out. Nathan Lyon omitted. So his first healthy scratching in Australia in a long time. That he tried earlier in the year as well. And Josh Inglis comes in, Michael Neser come in. So the two changes for Australia, just the one change for the Poms with Mark Wood, who is out for the series with a re-aggravation of a knee injury, and Will Jacks comes in for them. England win the toss, elect to bat. Stark gets a wicket in the first over. Water is wet. Gets Ben Duckett first ball, and then horror start for the Poms. Ollie Pope goes for a cracker too. Bowled Stark 2 for 5, and then we saw a little bit of resilience from Zach Crawley, who himself was on a pair from Perth, and got those long levers going, and shows that he can actually be a handy batsman at times. They had a 117 run wicket for the 117 third wicket partnership for him and Joe Root, and then Crawley goes. Stark gets Brook for 30 odd, and the game really got turned open, I think, with that run out of Stokes from Josh Inglis. One hand pick up, hits one stump. I had Punter in the commentary box, and they asked him how many times out of 10 he's doing that. He reckons about 8 out of 10 he's doing it.
Some confidence for it?
Certainly not a bad run out from a bloke that's normally a keeper. Probably the big story, I think, from day one was Joe Root finally gets his first Test 100 in Australia, 138 not off 206 balls, his 40th Test century overall. And part of me was actually happy for him because he's too good a player, and you get a lot of Aussies that go, "Oh, we've never done it here." He might score more runs than Tedulka, but he's fucking shit. And you're like, well, I don't know. If you followed any cricket over the last 5 years, pretty hard to run that argument. So part of me was actually felt a bit traitorous and actually felt mildly happy.
I think the main thing is we won't get a Matthew Hayden Newey run at the end of this, because that's what he said. If he didn't get it, he'd do a Newey run.
Would have liked to see Matthew Hayden in the nude, but just wearing his stupid oversized hat.
Yeah, that's a look.
You can leave.
Interesting that last session when they were 9 for 264. And then Jofra Archer goes out and starts slapping us around. And we thought the declarer was coming, and half their team was sitting down there. I think Jamie Smith had his pads on, ready to go. And then they're like, oh, hang on a minute. We're actually scoring a bunch of runs here. We might not declare tonight.
Yeah, well, I think the field position and then just bowling a whole bunch of short stuff made it a little bit easier on Archer just to smack it around. So, I think the Australia missed a trick in that one. But luckily, those extra 70-odd runs didn't hurt him too much.
They didn't, and it makes you think as well, how many runs are you happy to concede to not have to bat for 5 overs that night? Yeah. Because if you bat for 5 and you lose 2, you'd take 70 as a push.
Especially when you got, 3 days to go as well.
Yeah, and obviously, in retrospect, it didn't matter at all, but it was probably the only point in the Test match where you kind of thought, England's actually getting a little bit of an advantage going here. And sort of other than our first innings back in Perth as well, where England, to their credit, bowled incredibly well, and we couldn't really get it off the square for the first 20 overs in that. Probably the only sort of sessions that England has potentially won in the first 2 tests.
Yeah, that's it. I've felt a little bit more like Test cricket, them actually seeing out the day, getting something over 300.
Yeah, that's right.
Making a third day.
Well, we got to the end of day 1 and there'd only been 9 wickets. We actually thought, this is going to actually go through to Sunday at least.
Yeah, much better wicket to bat on.
Yeah. England go back out the next morning of day 2. They do get Jofra, and they make 334. Holt Kratz, he's had a very good start to the series. What was his first innings there? 6 for 75, Mitchell Stark finishes with. So in the first 3 innings has 16 wickets, and then picked up a few in the second 2, which we'll get to in just a second. Australia goes out, and we make 511 with every single player reaching double digits. That's only the third time an Australian team has ever done that. You have to go back to 1992 for the last time that to have happened, and no one scores 100. So I think I also read it's the highest total ever by Australia without anyone scoring 100. Yep. So Stark top scored with 77. We also had Weatherald 72, Labuschagne 65, Smith 61, Carey 63. Top of the order. Very happy to see Jack Weatherald get his first Test 50. Yep. A little bit of a shame that he didn't get to go on with it, but showing his potential. And
definitely.
Given the lack of success some of these openers have had that have been given a chance recently. Good to see Jakey there in the runs. And then, got to give Mitch Stark a shout. It's his 12th Test 50, so that equals Shane Warne for the most by an Aussie without scoring 100. And also he ticked over the most runs ever for an Australian, batting at 9. Wow. Pretty handy from Kratz there. Yeah. Leading with not just the ball, but also with the bat. 551, Australia well on top. Probably aren't going to lose from there. It's just sort of a question of, could this get pushed out to a draw or a bit of rain or something to save England? I think when you have a nearly 200-run lead, stranger things happen. Feel pretty confident there, I would have thought. England go out. Yeah. They made 241 in the second innings. Nice to see Michael Neser getting his first Michelle Pfeiffer. Couple of nice caught and bowls there. That Smith catch off Will Jacks was pretty good.
Well, I think
a little bit,
in both innings, Stokes was kind of their rock there, and Jackson and Stokes were going along and they were doing pretty all right, and they kind of had settled in, and I don't think England were going to score a shit ton of runs, but they
could have saved a Test match.
Yeah, exactly. Could have saved a Test match for that, and then Smith takes an absolute screamer to get rid of the Jacks, and that effectively ended their innings. They were out pretty quick after that.
Do you think he was so fired up because Will Jacks himself took a great catch off him in the first innings as well? Didn't do anything else in that Test, Will Jacks, other than a few runs and an incredible catch. I don't know if I've seen Smudger as fired up after a catch like that.
Well, I think it was a big week and a big moment for that reason because they were kind of looking set. They were, it was obviously a good wicket to bat on, and they were starting to make some movement, and they had to break that partnership to really start getting after it. And then Michael Neser and having Alex Carey up at the stumps, fielding the 130s and taking some good catches there.
Bro, how good was he?
Oh,
I don't know if I've seen someone keep up.
It helps having a good keeper.
Jamie Smith's been pretty ordinary with bat and ball, and was very hyped and was averaging 50 before this series started. But I think
too many critical drops in this one from the old Bombies.
Their fielding was horrendous, and Smith is not their county keeper. So I think having a good quality keeper in Australia with the extra bounce is sort of underrated. And then you saw Carey up to everyone except for Stark essentially over after over keeping up to the quicks, and some of those that one-handed take off that one that got a bit of extra bounce, some of the catches nearly had a stumping. Pretty incredible effort from Kez behind the stumps.
I think Gilchrist and Healy all giving him his flowers, and that kind of putting him in that class that he's one of the best glove men to ever play for Australia.
Yep, and batting aside, I think you need to pick the best gloveman in Test cricket.
It definitely helps.
For sure. Interesting that the Stokes and Jacks partnership was a traditional or even slower.
Yeah, where was Bazball? If I check the run rates, I think Australia led in all of them. So
Stokes had 50 off 152. He was striking at 33, and Jacks was striking at 44, and it was their best partnership of the Test match. So make of that what you will. It's actually their second best, Crawley and Root in the first innings. In terms of the rocks chewed up and time chewed up, it was their best.
Some typical Test cricket batting there.
Interesting. Neser 5 for 42. We'll have a chat about Adelaide and if he manages to hold on to a spot, but he gets his first Michelle Pfeiffer. We only need 60 odd, so we're not really going to lose from there. Head opens again, 22, 17 not for Jakey Weatherall.
For his wicket away, I think, old Head. Yeah. It's like, he got a bit aggressive with it. It was like, I'm going to get this done quickly.
He's ready for the pub, wasn't he?
Yes.
Stephen Smith was ready for the pub, wasn't he? What an end to a Test match. Jofra Archer goes out and bowls not just the fast spell, apparently his fastest spell in Test cricket.
Yeah.
After
he averaged over 150.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was consistently 152,
Yeah.
154, he was hitting 155, and you're like, where the fuck is this been?
Yeah,
Save
he was obviously well rested.
Save
Well rested after bringing his pillow to day 3. And then how's the cojones on Steve Smith? You cast your mind back to 2019, and Joffre hits Smith in the neck with one of the nastier blows that you'll ever see in Test cricket. Knocks him out of that game, and I think Smudge actually missed the Test match after that. Comes out, the bloke's faced 6 rocks.
Yep.
This guy's trying to kill you essentially,
Yeah.
and then he's just chirped him up, just going, mate, you only bowl fast when there's
I think
nothing on the line. Champion.
Yeah, I think Archer said something about because he was throwing the bat at the ball. I think he might have played a miss or something, and then that was his comeback. He's like, "You only bowl fast when there's nothing going on, champion." And then I think Weatherall,
Stump Mike picked it up well. Yeah, Weatherall was chirping.
Weather and Stokes were getting into it, and then
Hunter dropped the
Punting
champion from the
as well.
commentary box.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of ESPN going on there between,
Champion.
That's it.
between the baby goat and the old goat.
Yeah. But equally not wrong as well.
Well, so then to be able to back it up and get the short one and go,
and then hit a 6 to win the game. So
Yeah.
it was very good viewing for Aussie fans. And Smudger also booed by the Barmy Army going out there, still getting booed. We'll always have carried the weight of the past. Credit to the Barmy Army. They can be well and truly out of the Test match, and they're still
turn up,
and
still
about and singing and
Yeah.
booing. So it does add atmosphere to a game that's pretty much over. But extreme viewing at the end of a Test match and quite fiery.
Yep. Yeah. So finish off as a fill-in captain. Smith still undefeated. So incredible record there. And I think he goes to 25 wins overall for a captain. So he's 6th, I think, on Australia's all-time list.
Catches as well.
He
might go to
3rd or something.
Yeah,
Well, it's him and Root though, fighting over 3rd.
So it's like who's
flipping
gonna
back on
retire?
third place at the moment. But yeah, I think 2nd still 20 odd away. Yeah, follow that. But while you do that, you mentioned viewership. Seven's coverage of the second test reached 8 million people, which is the highest ever for a Gabba test and the highest ever for a day-night test. So some pretty good viewing. Ashes is king, and I think some good test cricket has been well sought after. And I think Cricket Australia will be very happy with potentially not losing much money in this one.
So Root is 1 with 213. So Smudge is only 3 behind him with 210, and Smudge is equal with Dravid. So obviously both of them are just going to extend their lead. It's interesting the innings. So Smudge has 231 innings in the field versus Root's 305. So that means Smudge is taking 0.9 of a catch per innings, whereas Root is 0.69. So
By far the best in that list.
Incredible return on catches there, and had some pretty handy ones in this game.
Yep. So Adelaide's 4 days away.
Yep.
Let's start with the Australian squad.
Yep.
What are we thinking? We know Pat Cummins definitely is
Yep.
back. He'll be at the coin toss. The captain is back, so he'll slide in, and then likelihood is Lyon will get picked as well because they probably want a spinner in Adelaide. So if that's the case, who misses out?
I think Brendan Doggan misses out.
Yeah.
Served a role, but probably looked the least threatening of the bowlers in this one. And then it's going to be interesting because there are some rumours circulating that Scotty Boland might get a rest leading into Melbourne, which would open the door for Michael Neser to retain
Potentially
his spot.
retain,
He'd be pretty stiff taking 5 for in the most recent innings and then missing out. But stranger things have happened.
True.
But
Well, they did pick Doggett over him initially as well. So
Correct.
whether that plays into who they want to pick, but
Neser can bat a bit. I don't know if that is, if it's a coin flip and that's something
Difference.
that's right. Has first class hundreds. So I don't know if that pays into it.
But we also should mention Josh Hazelwood officially ruled out. He had a
Correct.
setback with the Achilles, so he's going to miss the whole of the Ashes.
Achilles or
unfortunately.
he had a hamstring.
Yeah, and so he with trying to come back. So as he's trying to come back from that,
Picked
he's
up an Achilles tendinopathy or something.
Yeah, he's picked up an Achilles injury. So that's what's ruled him out.
He has been so banged up the last 3.
Well, he was good. He
summers.
was good through the Shields, and they were doing some Shield games, and then he's just
Maybe don't play.
Old man.
Maybe don't play the useless white ball series.
Well, white ball series, yes. Yeah. I definitely agree.
Played
with
like all of them.
that. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I did see the stat that Archer was the only Pommy that's done any red ball cricket leading up to the Ashes, whereas every Australian bowler had played some red ball cricket leading up to it. So whether that plays into the preparation, as you will. Some interesting comments from McCullough about their preparation.
They already say they were over prepared.
Yeah, and then they were staying on Noosa this week, so having a bit of a break before they head off to Adelaide.
That's such a good thing. Well, I was over prepared. Oh, damn it! I failed my uni exam. I was over prepared again.
I did too much studying.
I did too much. I knocked all the old stuff out of my brain. I was over prepared. Damn it! I don't want to do that.
It's just too much to remember.
So that's the bowlers.
Yeah. So in answering your question, I think if Scotty gets a rest, we might see Cummins, Nisa, Stark, Lyon. Yeah.
Are you worried about Stark basically carrying the Ashes at the moment, being as dominant with bat and ball?
Have you seen the stats from our other bowlers? Nothing to write home about.
No.
Yeah.
Stark's been absolutely dominant. So.
Touchwood, he's just been so his body has held up remarkably, and with how fast he bowls and how aggressive he is with the ball, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, and then he goes out there and bats for 4 or 5 hours. So and then backs it up and goes and bowls too. So
He's got back-to-back man of the matches as well.
Yep.
So it's only 2 tests in. You don't want to give someone a man of the series after 2 tests, but fuck, he'd be short price favourite to win that.
Yeah, well, he's double anyone for wickets.
He has 18 wickets at an average of 14.
Yeah.
And then
where's he in the runs? Can you get a full list of the batsmen?
We'd have over 100, wouldn't he?
Your stats.
Yeah, it's 77 from 1 knock.
Yeah. So I'm just.
But would have only batted twice because not required in the second innings of either game. And you're on the calendar year now, months.
Gone.
Yeah,
Everything.
Anyways,
cool.
It's a useless stat.
I just want to see above how many pommies he is, which would be most of the time.
Well, he's only batted twice. Can you click on others?
Yeah, just do others.
That's
lines.
Yeah, English lines. If you go up to series and then go view all, actually go down view all stats.
No, he did that. He did that, and that's where he got it.
Anyway, so you can work it out. And we'll come back to it.
Just click the big Ashes button somewhere.
That's quick info for those following at home. Yeah. It's not making for good listening, that's for sure. Let's go back to this team.
Yep.
Whilst Monks has a look at how many runs Kratz has made in 2 innings. What do we think about Usman?
Yeah, so the sticks, Usman is the question. And I think that Australia overall looked more competitive with him not in the team. And that also goes to the field. I think Josh English in the field was more of a live wire instead of, the old wily vet having to sit in the slips the whole time.
Yep.
I think it gave them more options, youth and enthusiasm, let's say, in the field. Mm-hmm. And it proved very instrumental with the run out in the first innings. Mm-hmm. So, and I don't think he did overly too bad with the bat. And
so you're saying English would be stiff to
based
on his performance?
I wouldn't change the top 6 in this.
I will counter that. I think historically we've seen if a top order batsman is in your squad, they get picked. We saw Weatherall, being included, and we were like, well, oftentimes they don't carry them as an extra. If they're in the squad, they're often in. And I think obviously a lot's been spoken about Usman over the last 12 months, but has a good record in Australia over the last 8 years. And I think he would be very unlucky to not play Test cricket again, because if he misses out here and, through the rest of this series, we may have seen the last of him.
True. But having said that, the dude that's on the top of that list has opened for 3 of those.
And looks much better. We look much better opening the batting when Travis Head is opening the batting. Yeah, 199 runs from 4 innings, 3 of which have been opening, striking at 108 this series.
Yep.
Agree. I'm not going to argue there.
It's hard.
Stark was 9th on that list, by the way.
89. So he made what we couldn't remember was how many runs he made in the first innings.
With only 4 pommies
in Perth, he made 12. Is the answer to that question. Scroll back down. Yeah, who's below him in terms of runs so far this series?
Stokes,
Duckett,
James Smith,
Jamie Smith. There you go.
Yeah.
all the big ones.
Good research there, Monks.
Yeah, we took our time.
Yeah. I think again. I'm not saying.
Is he a Melbourne or a Sydney kid?
Who are we talking about?
Usman.
So grew up in Sydney, played junior cricket with David Warner, and then has played state cricket for Queensland for over 10 years. Yeah.
If they're going to follow the same storyline they gave to David Warner of like
he gets the
the retirement.
We're up 4-0. There's no pressure. We go. He scores 100 in Sydney and then hangs up the gloves.
Well, here's a question because isn't Head South Australian?
Yes.
Adelaide.
Yeah, and Weatherall currently playing for Tasmania, but played a lot at the Adelaide Oval.
Yeah, would they potentially just leave it for Adelaide and then sew the series up essentially, and then you bring Usman back in to give him his farewell tour, John Cena style?
Do you do that though if you don't think that it's the best for the team?
But I'm saying if they've already won the series,
I just don't think they'll.
Then you can have that conversation. I would think you put your best team out there, and from what I've seen, I think he's not in the best 11 currently.
And I think there'll be a lot of Australians that agree with that sentiment.
Yeah.
But I think historically what we've seen...
Yeah, historically, yes, it's definitely...
I think we'll see...
Get the vets in.
We'll see Usman get another go here.
Yeah.
If we were down 2-0, maybe it's a different story. Maybe you try and change things up as much as possible.
Well, if we were down 2-0 and Usman wasn't in the team, then you'd probably want to bring him
back in the team.
Change it
You'd
up.
want to change it up. That's right.
Yeah, you are right there.
And add a note there for Mitch Mars as well, because there had been a lot of talk about him somehow finding his way back into the Ashes team. He has said he will end his Red Ball career at the end of this season, so the current Shield season. So if that's the case, that likely means no more Test cricket for him. He's not really going to prioritise that. Considering I think he got 9 and 7 in that game, he was meant to... he's batted 3, I think.
Yeah, he's batted 3.
To get him a bit of form to maybe enter the Ashes conversation really didn't go too well. So I think this is kind of writing on the wall to say that's not me anymore. Pommies though, what are the Pommies going to do?
Yeah,
Wood's been ruled out for the rest of the season.
Yep.
Rest of the Ashes, that is. And there's been a lot of rumours saying get old Johnny Barstow back.
He's not even in Australia, is he?
I don't know. I don't think he's in the squad. But yeah, put him on a plane and get him down here.
No, I don't think we'll see that. I think they have got some...
Because he'd be is he a true keeper, I guess?
He's probably a better glove than what we've seen from Jamie Smith. Yeah. I think they have some talented players in their Lions team which may get a nod. So
but have you seen how they went during the week?
Smashed. They get absolutely smashed.
McSweeney getting 200.
Yeah,
So.
and hats off to Nathan McSweeney making a big ton there. Jacob Bethel's been highly touted, who's playing in this Lions team. Hasn't made runs in Australia yet.
Yep.
I don't know if someone in their top 3 misses out for him to come in. Haven't seen heaps out of their top 3, and really when you look at them on paper, it's really 4, 5, 6 who are the ones that I get a little worried about. We've seen Joe Root.
That's their meat, definitely.
Exactly. We've known what Stokes has been able to do with the bat to us here and there. Stokes, prior to Root getting his 100, was actually the only one who'd scored 100 in Australia previously. And Harry Brook, I think there's no denying, is one of the best players in world cricket. It's just unproven yet in Australia. But the way that he was going about things in that first innings in Perth, you thought, well, if this bloke gets going, he could make a Big Daddy 100. But in terms of Duckett, Pope, Crawley at the top, yes, Crawley made a few runs in this one. The bloke averages 31 in Test cricket. He scores big hundreds on occasion, but has done it a few times against Pakistan and the like. Did score a big 100 in England against us in the last Ashes. But yeah, I think if they make a change, maybe it's in the top 3, or maybe rotation of their bowlers. Will Jacks didn't do much in this test. Had a screamer, good on you. Made 40 odd, but was essentially a non-factor with the ball. So might make a change there. They may go back to 4 quicks potentially. 4 specialist quicks with Stokes.
Yeah, I think that's.
I don't know.
That's likely.
You kind of
they don't really have a.
You need to change something, don't you?
Spin option. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like they're in the down 0-2 of the series. You need to win out from here.
But do you do that with the ball or do you do that with the bat?
Yeah, what drastic changes do you make?
Well, they looked very good with the ball in the first innings in Perth.
And that's about it.
Really, yeah. And then outside of a route 100 and a few blokes, getting 50 to 70 odd, haven't really looked super damaging with the bat.
The middle order of their batting, like we said, has probably been their best.
Yeah,
But
if they get going, that's what you get worried about as an Australian, right? Everyone's got PTSD from Stokes.
I wonder if Duckett maybe is in a...
Yeah, Duckett or Pope maybe.
Yeah.
You can't...
But who's there in the squad?
No one's banging down the door.
No one, yeah.
And it's sort of the problem that we've had, in the last few years with who's going to be the David Warner replacement. We've got lots of guys who, can tick along at shield level, but then that next step up has proved quite difficult.
Yeah, and a lot of those guys also play more in the middle than they do as openers, like in your 1, 2, 3s, which is your harder spots.
Yeah, so I don't know. Pommy fans, get at us. Who would you like to see come in, or do you just stick with the 11 and trying to win a test? You don't want to say the series is gone, but pretty hard in Australia to turn it around from here. I was actually at a look at that. I don't think they've won a test match here for 15 years. It is now going back to 2010 when they did win down here. It's a pretty important caveat back in 2010, 2011, but it's a horrendous record, really, because they're not just losing; they're getting belted. Yeah. So this series so far, 2 losses of 8 wickets, and then you go back to 21 and 22. They managed to have a draw in Melbourne, but they lost a game by an innings. They lost a game by 275. They lost a game by 146. They lost a game by 9 wickets in the last Ashes. Go back to 17, 18. Again, they get done 4-zip. You go back to 2013-14, the Mitch Johnson terrorising series. They lose 5-zip there. So the last time they won a test in Australia was 2011 in Sydney. They did win that by an innings. So very, very different England team. And you just don't see it happening at the moment, do you?
No, not at all.
Yeah. Mentioned it before. Is Bazball dead? Do they need to change up strategy?
I don't think it works here.
I don't think they even stick to their Bazball.
No, that's the thing. Like that second...
Yeah, in this game, you look at the run rates. Yes, I don't think Australia was looking to score significantly high, but they were just so much more dominant, I guess, with the bat over the ball.
Yeah, they played aggressive in Perth, but you got a two-day test out of it.
Yeah, well, exactly. So and just they were less aggressive in this, and
you just look at the wickets as well.
Slightly more
when they're playing these aggressive drives, the ball is outside off on that 5th, 6th stump line, and the extra bounce, and there's not a lot of footwork oftentimes.
No, it's just throwing the bat out there.
Sometimes, that might work on a, slower deck, but on these fast, bouncy decks, it hasn't been working for them. And you looked at the way Root played, just technically immaculate. I think that's the way you need to play and be a little bit more patient. And maybe we're a few old heads, but I just don't see it working here.
No, yeah.
Random question: should the eye strip stay? Steve Smith.
He looked pretty good with the balls, didn't he?
It works well for day-nighters.
It does. It was almost bringing out some of his more spectrumy tendencies, even a little bit more than what he is used to, as we are watching the Smith versus Archer end to the Test match right now. Look, England will do good to win a Test match, I think, is the way that it's looking.
Yep.
Clip this up and maybe we eat our words, but I don't think they're winning the series.
The old Gabba is a fortress.
Yeah, the Gabba is a fortress. Be good for your views on this podcast, actually.
Yeah, it was.
West Indies, almost a shout of beer, but we got to.
It was very close.
Saving a game against New Zealand.
I was watching a fair bit of this last Saturday afternoon. They went into day 5 with all results on the table, including what would have been an historic win if they could have pulled it off. They needed to make like 500 and something. It would have been the biggest winning margin ever, biggest winning 4th innings total, I should say.
Yep.
If they were able to get the runs in Christchurch. New Zealand made 231 and 466. The Windies only made 167 in their first innings. And it went down to the final session where we had Justin Greaves batting with Kemar Roach. Greaves ended up making 202 not off 388 balls. He batted for 564 minutes, and Kemar Roach, supporting him, batting 8, made 58 off 233 balls. They obviously had decided that it was probably a bit too risky to play for the win, but a pretty incredible draw from the Windies in that first test, and it really looked like they actually might be able to play for the win at some point there. But yeah, it was obviously a conversation that had been had with them to say, look, if we pull off a draw and save this test match, we've done enough here. And look at the overs bowled there by some of the New Zealand bowlers. 55 overs from Michael Bracewell, 43 from Jacob Duffy, 33 from Zach Foulkes. Hard slog, and they just couldn't get him.
Yeah, very, very interesting. Jimmy's got there. They did go on to lose the second test, which ended yesterday.
Correct. So they did lose the series 1-0, but from where they were in that first test, did very well not to get swept.
Yeah. Good to see him actually,
competitive.
Be competitive.
Yeah, sort of.
Sort of. I mean, compared to previous years where you're wondering what was going to happen with West Indies cricket.
They showed glimpses, right? Yep. They beat us, last year in a test match in Australia.
Yeah.
Something we were just speaking about England not being able to do for 15 years.
Yeah.
I don't think West Indies cricket is dead.
No.
They're holding on.
Yeah.
It's certainly a shadow of its former self.
Yeah. But, it's whether or not that elusive money with the short format game that kind of destroys the test cricket, I guess. But
incredible innings there from
the West Indies.
Yeah, from Greaves there, but also good support there from Kemar Roach, and Shea Hope made 140 as well in that fourth innings. So shout out to them. They did their very best in that one. Big Bash also starts tomorrow, I believe. So we'll keep an eye on that as the girls play their final this evening.
At the moment, we might switch to that, Jimmy. So you school.
All right, let's switch it up. We'll go over to America and talk the final month of the regular season in the NFL.
Oh, he broke his ankles.
Marks, what doing? Your Bucks making it very hard for themselves. I think
very hard.
Saving grace is they've got 2 playoff games essentially coming up against the Panthers in the next 3 weeks.
Well, that's the thing. I think we were talking about it during the week. The fate is in their hands. Like you said, they've got to play the only rivals for that NFC South Championship. Not championship, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
division title with the Panthers. Thinking that the Falcons would do nothing, and then tight end called Kyle Pitts
showed up. Contract year for him. That's
always helps.
Kirk Cousins is thrown to the ball to him as well. Probably makes a difference for Kyle Pitts. I think the problem with this loss now is if they split with the Panthers and the Panthers win against the Saints, they're going to miss. So they pretty much have to beat them twice now.
Within that division, you're not going to have a chance of a wild card. In the NFC, so you have to win it out. You have to win the division out, and they've just completely shot themselves in the foot. Yeah,
conceding a lot. They're 354 points against is the worst in the division, albeit a game behind Carolina and the Saints. They'll be watching that game, which we'll get to in a second, between the Panthers and Saints, really cheering on Tyler Shuck and the Saints to try and stay alive. You see Todd Bowles in the presser. For a guy who's normally pretty emotionless, dropped a lot of F-bombs and showed a fair bit of passion in that one. So,
sure did.
Yeah, Bucks essentially now need to beat the Panthers twice, it looks like.
Yep.
And a quick look to see if the Falcons potentially could play a part in this. Maybe. Would be pretty tough.
2 games behind.
They do play the Rams, so I doubt it.
Yeah,
they've got Saints and Cardinals, so they could probably win another 2.
Yeah, who knows?
So, they play the Rams
last week?
Second week.
Okay.
So, in 2 weeks' time, they play the Rams.
Yeah. I mean, Rams might still be gunning for a 1 seed there, so might try and kick the shit out of them.
If the Bucks and Panthers lose out and the Falcons win, you'd have to then look at the...
There's a chance.
There's a chance. You'd have to look at the conference, how they've done. Like, a win over the Bucks means they probably would flip them, and then I don't know. But they did lose heavily to Panthers, so in that scenario, the Panthers would win, I think, the division.
Let's get into the early slate for Sunday. Jets are 3-10, take on the Jags 9-4. Is Brady Cook going to get the start there for the Jets? They're taking quarterback next year, you'd think.
I think so, and they'll probably lose this game, so help their chances.
Yeah, it's starting to look like the tank for Mendoza in the last month. I think Mendoza really has established himself as the clear number one. Dante Moore.
Is he coming out there?
Yeah, I think it's looking like.
What is he, sophomore?
Yeah, I think he's a junior. Can you chase that up? So the class is likely to be him, Dante Moore from Oregon, Lenora Sellers from South Carolina, Ty Simpson might come out from Alabama. Nussmeier, who's had a down year at LSU, but is in like his 5th year of college ball, so he has to come out. There's probably going to be 5 that go in the first 2 rounds, I'd say.
Yeah, I assume Archie goes back around.
Yeah, I think he's stated that he needs to go around again. Texas cleaned up their season a fair bit.
Yep, they played a lot better in the back end.
Playing pretty ordinary, and just the way we'll get to college football in a second. Just the way that it works, they're probably in the top 12 teams in the nation. They
were just outside. I think they finished like 13th, 4th.
You play Ohio State week 1, it really hurts your chances. Okay, so according to Kuiper's actually got Dante Moore ahead of Mendoza.
But him and Mendoza, let's say, are 1 and 2.
So 4 of the 5 guys that I just mentioned before, they've also got John Mateer out of Oklahoma. And then those other lists, I think, are similar to mine. Carson Beck out of Miami, Jaden Maiva out of
Beck has
USC.
to come in, doesn't he? I think he's a senior.
Yeah, but most people's top 3s look like some iteration of Mendoza, Moore, Simpson.
Yep, I agree.
So you'd think Jets take a quarterback there. The Jags, really good chance to win the AFC South. They've already got a 1-game lead ahead of the Texans, who we'll get to in the next game. And they finish at Broncos hard, but then at Colts, Titans. Pretty good chance that they win the last 2 games.
Yeah, that Colts game, I guess, will probably decide the division.
The Colts going to miss, aren't they?
We'll see if old man Rivers can lead them to the promised land.
Huge story upcoming. Jags probably win this pretty easily. That'd be handy favourites.
They are favourites $1.10 with the Jets out at $7.
What's the spread? 13.5?
Yes, 13.5.
Not a bad little spread there for the Jets, but I think Jags win that at home. Another game where the AFC South home team should probably win pretty easily. The Cardinals 3-10.
Fun, haven't won games though.
Go to the Texans. Jacoby Brissett. He's unlocked Michael Wilson.
Yep.
My goodness,
no Marvin Harrison has also helped.
Yeah, but I don't.
All the targets, enjoy.
Is Michael Wilson better than Marvin Harrison? There's that conversation over the last month. Hard to argue against. That's for sure. Cardinals could also be in the look for a quarterback next year.
Could potentially also trade away a certain quarterback.
Who's on IR at the moment.
But Texans win this. They've won 5 straight. Defense has been nasty. So
how good are they? Are they Super Bowl good?
We'll see.
Looked it against the Chiefs.
Yeah, well, I think the Chiefs are a bit washed. They've been heavily reliant on a certain quarterback and probably over-reliant and haven't really made the strides they needed to offensively.
It's going back to the Texans defense. Oh my God, they were hitting hard.
Yeah.
That Rashee Rice one.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's looking like 90s NFL out there. Pretty clean as well. Mahomes under duress. Their defensive line's really good.
Yep.
Yeah. If you asked me a month ago, I would have said, hell no, I don't think the Texans can make the Super Bowl. I reckon they can now.
Yeah, well, since they lost to Denver, I think they've won 5 straight since that loss to Denver. So, yeah.
The AFC, both divisions, very interesting this year, both conferences, I should say, but the AFC in particular.
I think
your Broncos look good.
I think all the name quarterbacks in the AFC have struggled this year, whereas all the name quarterbacks in the AFC are all still the top teams. So we got a lot of the young, whether it's changing of the guard, if you will, but we got a lot of the young quarterbacks doing well with their young teams.
Yep.
Yeah.
And use that as a segue.
Josh Allen still looked pretty good.
Yes, still looks pretty good, but it runs into the Patriots, who are on their 10 straight win streak themselves. Allen was MVP against the Bengals, who I thought might actually make a run there, but they managed to lose that game on pick 6, didn't they have?
Yeah, that's what turned it. The Bengals had a good lead in that game, and then Joey threw a pick 6, and you blinked and they were down 10 in the snow, and that was all she wrote. And
Hard in Buffalo.
Josh Allen was putting up MVP-like numbers.
So that's the thing, like, they might not win the division now, the Bills. It's
You don't
probably
want to run
unlikely.
into them, though.
But yeah, exactly. You run in the playoffs, and we've talked about it. You might just get Josh Allen, and he'll just put the whole team on his back and do freaky things. So yeah, you don't want to be facing him in that first round.
Having said that, why don't teams have the same respect and trepidation for the Patriots, given that they've won 10 in a row? Strength of schedule has come up a lot. Like you look at, say, the last month, and it's been Giants, Bengals, Jets, Bucks. You know,
Keep going.
Yeah, Atlanta, Cleveland, Tennessee, New Orleans. You know, so the last 2 months probably haven't been playing the creme de la
I think
creme.
that big game against Buffalo where they won by 3 points, probably gave them the confidence that they needed, and they've been pretty good since then. They run into Buffalo again. It's a pretty good test. See if Baltimore can right the ship, and they should beat New York and Miami. So they're probably going to finish with a good 13-3 record at least.
Look how consistent the offense has been in that run. The least points they've scored was against Buffalo, 23, and consistently high 20s into the 30s. Put up 42 against Carolina. And Drake May never throws for,
numbers.
never throws for 300, but never less than 200 either.
Yeah. And they play good defense. Like I think they're a pretty typical Mike Vrabel type team.
Mike Vrabel, Coach of the Year, good?
Yeah, I would say so. To turn around the Pats team, the pick 4 last year,
Yeah.
I can't see a reason why not.
Huge game, Monks. Can you get us some odds? I think the Bills will be slight favourites going into this.
Are they at home?
No, it's at
Patriots.
Patriots. It's at Foxborough.
I would think Patriots.
Just slight favourites, $1.87 against $1.97 for the Patriots.
Coin flip.
Basically a playoff game. So.
Basically.
Coin flip. And may not be the last time they face off this year.
Yeah, I agree. Charger Chiefs?
Yeah, so this is absolute must-win territory now for the
Have to win
Kansas City Chiefs. The last 2 weeks, it's kind of been like they kind of need to win now. There's no ifs or buts. They need to win, and they need other results to go their way. They are 6-7. The Chargers 9-4, coming off a crazy Monday Night Football game, which was a turnover-a-thon.
Yeah. how they won that game with the Eagles basically on the doorstep and should have probably won it, and then Hurts just throws it away yet again.
I got a funny story. I'm in a 2-quarterback league, not with you guys, and I'd already won my matchup going into Monday Night Football, and the guy that in front of me, I needed his team to score less than 58 points in a 2-quarterback league. 58 fantasy points. Regular scoring. His 2 quarterbacks were Jalen Hurts and Justin Herbert, and
They had 5 turnovers between them. So.
and
Or 6, I think, in the end.
Herbert finished up with about 11, and Hurts finished up with about 1. So
I think it was 3, but
Yeah, and the only intercept fumble by the same person on
Same play.
So, -4 there for a normal scoring. But
whilst we're on that, the Eagles' offense has been horrendous.
Well, it's interesting because they started targeting AJ Brown heavily, and then they started getting worse. So after all the media and they're talking of that in the recent weeks. So
We'll talk about it a bit more because they are in the next game. Chiefs must win. Chargers now the AFC West. They've got a handy lead here against the Chiefs, and they can knock the Chiefs out this weekend.
Yep, definitely. Chargers is one of those teams though. You'll see how far they can go depending on their offensive line and how healthy can Herbert stay, because his hand's banged up, he's all kinds of banged up, he's fighting through it, but he's going to have a bit of a tough run home.
It's not the easiest of runs.
He finishes there with Dallas, Houston, and Denver, so some sack-heavy teams there in the last few weeks.
They've beaten some good teams though. They beat Kansas City week 1. They've beaten Denver. They have beaten Pittsburgh, and they've just beaten the Super Bowl champs. So. Looking pretty good, the Chargers.
I just don't know. Regular season offensive line is a bit different to playoff football, so I really worry for them. But hey, I think they're doing pretty good, and I think they should beat the Chiefs.
You reckon?
Where they've been playing.
Chiefs to be
it is at Arrowhead.
Chiefs to be favourite.
It is at Arrowhead, so maybe that'll give them a bit of a G up.
Texans just beat them at Arrowhead, didn't they?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that home field advantage is a little bit more of a G up. So Kansas City Chiefs are favourites at $1.36. Chargers are out at $3.19. So maybe some value there.
Value to knock out the dynasty. Travis Kelce going to hang him up, do you reckon?
If they get eliminated, I think so. Get married, bro.
Yeah.
And he's going to have kids.
He doesn't need to play for money.
He does not.
Yeah, no.
He does not.
Especially when you're bringing the 100 mil of that 1.6 billion.
Measly 100 mil.
That's it. His is the grocery shopping money.
The Raiders are 2-11. They are essentially in tank mode. They go to Philadelphia. This might be a good get-right game for the Eagles, who have lost 3 in a row. And, just as Afa mentioned, the last 5 weeks since the bye, they haven't scored more than 21 points. So 19, 15, 21, 16, 10 has been their scoring from a team that had the NFL on notice last year with Saquon and the tush push, and it seems like the NFL's caught up.
Well, they did. Did they lose their centre as well? There'd been some rumours that they see if they can get Kels off the desk and back in there, but I don't think there's been anything official but there's been a lot of chat about getting him out. But I think they've lost their offensive identity a little bit, and they need to probably go back to Saquon. But I wonder if Saquon's got a bit of a niggle or something. Hasn't been
averaging like 3.5 yards a carry when he looked like he could house every ball that he touched last year.
Last year, yeah.
And it's essentially a similar offensive line.
Yeah, well, the only change is the centre. So
and Cam Jurgens is cleared. I think coming out of a concussion protocol, he's also had a bit of back pain and knee pain. He's pretty banged up.
Yeah, he's banged
but likely to start. They just look way behind where they were. Having said that, they started the season so well. They're still 8-5, and their division's weak. So.
Yes, they probably should get out of the division all right. But against the Raiders, Gino's out. Kenny Pickett's going to start against his former team. So we'll see how they go.
They'll be in the quarterback market in the top 5 picks.
I think so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Has the Pete Carroll experiment?
How long do you give it?
Well, I think if Tom Brady's the voice of reason over there as a minor owner, I think they'll probably give him at least another year or two.
Yeah, I think,
and say give him a chance to probably find a quarterback. If they don't think Gino can do it, and I think they need offensive line help. I think everything we said about
they need lots of help. They need receiver help. They need defensive help outside of the front four, probably.
Yeah.
So
can you build a team around Max Crosby?
Well, he's been there for how long now? So
I'm going to say no. Like, look how good Myles Garrett's been, and
how about
it's
pass rushers are nice to have items.
Yeah, but if you don't have a quarterback on offensive line, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, you basically start with quarterback, left tackle, then you want your corner, then you do your pass rushers is usually your method to success. So
they got to score points.
And in that division now, you probably want a good quarterback.
Yeah.
Whether Tom Brady is the Green Goblin mask and wants to come out of retirement like Phillip Rivers, or I highly doubt it. But
what are the Eagles paying in this? Are they under $1.10?
They are not. They are $1.10.
Right on it.
Right on. Raiders are out at $7.
Kenny Pickett with the upset against the team.
Raiders plus spread, maybe, given the way that the last month has been for the Eagles offense, but I feel like this is going to be a get-right game for them.
Yep.
Pretty big game over in the AFC North, at least for the Ravens. The Ravens are 6-7. We saw some of the resurgence, and the Bengals are pretty much done.
Pretty much in that division.
They have a chance.
They're
3 games behind the Steelers, so they would need some sort of capitulation from the Steelers.
But the Steelers aren't. Well, they're too busy puncturing lungs, so there's a good chance they're going to struggle.
Self-sabotage right there.
Well, the Bengals could puncture the lung of the Ravens season.
Well, they did beat them 2 weeks ago, so Joey B hasn't looked too bad.
Per Stephen A. Smith, apparently not happy in Cincinnati. I don't know how much to read into that. He's got a no trade clause and just got a max contract.
How could he not be happy? They paid his 2 top wide receivers $200 million, so they would stay.
O-line could potentially be something that
they forgot to pay the O-line.
And the defense, maybe.
Yeah.
But he's also been hurt for 2 seasons now. So if he can stay healthy and, you have Chase and he can stay healthy, it might be a different story for them.
I think they've invested the offensive line, but they've done draft picks. And unfortunately for that hasn't really paid off for them.
The O-line is better than it was last year.
Yeah.
Not hard to do.
Yes.
Yeah, I suppose it is hard when your starting quarterback is out for how many games was it? middle of the season. Yeah.
Yeah.
6 or 7. So yeah.
Yeah.
So unintentional.
No more, because he's only been back for 2.
Yeah,
And
he
went-
played the first 3, and he's been.
I think first 2. Anyways, he's missed a lot.
Yeah.
Can you get some odds for that? That'll be interesting from a punting perspective.
What the Steelers are leading? It's 7 and
7 and
6.
6.
I don't think it works that way, does it? You go the other way.
Oh god.
AFC.
AFC North 7 and 6 Steelers, 6 and 7 Ravens, 4 and 9 Bengals. Do you want me to get a Bengals run home and see if that's possible? Because they have to win out, and then they need 3 Steelers losses.
Yep.
So Ravens are favourites at $1.63. Bengals are the underdogs there at $2.28.
Well, their run home is easy. They play Dolphins, Cards, Browns.
Yep.
So we might see another push for Cincinnati. That it just makes that loss in Buffalo even more heartbreaking
Yeah, exactly.
for them.
Yeah.
They might miss by 1 game, which is. I feel like once we get into December, it's how much can Joe Burrow, pull their
Pull
their
a rabbit
season
out of
back
that,
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a Steelers run home?
Yeah, let me get you one for the Steelers schedule.
Skipping ahead on them, but
Yeah.
they do play Dolphins next. Is that Monday Night Football that I see there?
They go Lions, so tough one. Browns, Ravens.
Yeah, they got the division. That's
That
probably
week
a
18
huge
games,
game.
going to be huge. It's essentially a playoff game there in week 18.
So next on our list is Commanders and Giants. Yeah, definitely. Daniels has been ruled out. That Zach Ertz ACL injury and probably other ligaments was
I'd
pretty
say
nasty.
Mossy.
Was pretty nasty. Hopefully not career ending. He's a bit older as a tight
I think
end.
it's an age for him. It might be.
Yeah.
That
Maybe the Commanders keep him around for another go around next year to do him a solid. But yeah, 35 at tight end is.
That in itself is not career ending in a 25-year-old, but one of the nastier knee mechanisms that you'll see. He's essentially in the air. Defender hits his thigh, and then the momentum of his leg.
It's
Just
crazy
above the
that it
knee
was
catches.
momentum and it wasn't just like his foot was planted in the ground.
Well, it's a car crash. That's essentially
But
what
it's probably worse if his foot's planted, which is crazy to think of.
Yeah,
because then
well,
you've got the ground
that's
reaction
something
force
like-
and all the rest of it. But yeah, when they slow it
fact
down
that-
and you look at the angle of that knee, it's like 45 degrees hyperextended maybe.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
nasty. He knew straight away.
Yeah.
So he's 35. He turns. He's just turned 35. Excuse me. But yeah, plus 10 months for ACL rehab. It's going to be close to
yeah.
36
Big
by the
rehab.
time he's back in the NFL. Maybe they give him a 1-year contract because he.
well,
He had 10 catches last week. Like he's been
Yeah,
playing
he's
really
like,
well for his age.
yeah. The Commanders have just really struggled with injuries this year.
Yeah,
You can see when they slightly healthy, they're like, they can be a really good team. And but yeah, they've basically been banged up all over the park.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mariota will get a good run in this. I believe Dart's playing, so yeah, toilet bowl. Probably close odds here, but who cares?
Interesting because it's 2 teams that probably don't go quarterback in the draft next year.
No,
So, defensive talent. We've got Caleb Downs, who's been touted
Well,
as one of the best
we'll
safety
s-
prospects in recent memory.
Giants maybe 50-50 because
They won't take quarterback. I wouldn't think.
new head coach is my concern, and the GM that's still there he didn't want to draft Dart. He's a Brian Deboll pick. So I don't want to say Dart's up for potential trades, but if the GM's not really tied to him and a new head coach comes in and says, well, I'd prefer we trade for Kyler Murray, for example, then yeah, I wouldn't rule the Giants out for that reason.
Yep.
Plus, the Giants' basket case, they always will figure out how to fuck it up. Here's the
Look at the safety top 5s. Caleb Downs 1, Caleb Downs 1, Caleb Downs 1, Caleb Downs 1.
Yeah.
conspiracy theory here. Giants might tank another year for a certain other quarterback with a Manning in his last name.
Yeah, interesting. Chestnut checkers.
A long
Long-term
game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyways, all this talk about this game is about draft position in 2026.
yeah.
I think.
Exactly. Yeah.
Don't even bother with odds, monks.
Browns, Bears.
Browns 3-10, Bears 9-4. Chicago with a huge loss at Lambeau. Lots of rhetoric around. Yeah, they're good, but
Yeah, are they for real? Are they the Dave Grohls?
Who's your daddy?
yeah. Well, Packers fans had a chant of Bears still stuck going on a lot of that game. And then the Bears come back a little bit. Pump the brakes a little bit here. And really it was a Caleb Williams underthrow because he had his man, I think it was Komet in the end zone, but underthrew and he got picked off by Keyshawn Nixon to lose that game.
I think because it was like a 3 option and they had DJ Moore in the middle completely unmarked.
But across the body under duress.
Yeah, well, we went deeper. He went to the third
I think he
man
made the right decision. It's just there wasn't enough juice on it.
I think the little dump off from DJ, walk-in touchdown.
Anyways, they still suck.
The only really interesting thing I think we have for this game is Myles Garrett's got 4 games left.
Yep.
Or is it 3?
He's got 4.
Four, and he needs 3.
Yeah.
Is that the stats?
Can you get us a sacks list there, Monks? He should break the record.
You'd think so. Going up against Caleb Williams, you should get a couple.
Well, if he gets 2, give him the record. I think from a Bears perspective, going back to that loss last week, they went from the 1 seed to the 7 seed.
Yeah.
So it just shows how spicy.
Where are they in their division?
So they're second.
Yeah.
So the Packers jumped them.
And
then with the Lions nipping at their tails.
Yeah, it's a bit of a...
This is must win for the Bears, really, which is crazy at 9-4.
It's a tough division, that one.
Yeah. So the Bears are half a game behind the Packers because of the tie, and then the Lions are full game behind the Bears. So you don't want to drop this game because they have to play the Packers again.
So is it 22.5?
22.5. So he needs 3 for it outright.
Win. Yeah, 3 and
2.5.
That's the stat. Yeah.
To equal it. He's on 20 sacks through 13 games. Incredible. 31 TFLs. That's our defensive player of the year right there.
I definitely say so.
Do you want to talk about Browns for draft picks at all? Shador hasn't been bad.
Deshaun Watson's still there.
That is true.
Supposedly he's not too far away. Again, supposedly.
And it's a big cap hit if they get rid of him. So
yeah, it's huge. Yeah, these contracts would be interesting. Maybe another year would be closer to doable. You'd eat his contract. Yeah, but we'll have to see what Sanders does.
If he plays a good month of football, could lock down the starting position for next year.
To him. That'll be a very interesting question.
Watson's return to practice December 3, limited capacity.
Yeah.
Will not be suiting up week 15. Do you risk it? He's coming off of Achilles, isn't he?
Just shot him down.
Yeah. But good point. Because in my mind, it was almost an afterthought, but still there and still making big bucks. So, maybe they want to reactivate him in 2026. And a good prove-it month for Shador.
Definitely.
Let's go into the late slate for Sunday. There's a few huge games and a couple of one-sided ones. Titans at 49ers. You'd think the 49ers would get that pretty comfortably. Monks, can you chase up some odds for us there?
Yep. CMC dominating in the receptions there, 85
He's
so far.
5th in the league for receptions.
Yep.
That's crazy.
800 yards and 5 touchdowns.
So he needs about 50 receiving yards per game to hit the 1,000 in the last month of football.
That's wild. 49ers are heavy favourites at $1.10. Yep.
It's just the odds, isn't it, this week for the one-sided ones?
Yeah. Lions Rams, huge game.
Yep.
Especially in the NFC playoff picture. Matthew Stafford rights the ship a little bit, gets back on the MVP race, that is.
Yeah, after losing to the Panthers the week before.
Yeah, he threw 3 touchdowns last week.
Yeah, I think 3 in the first half, I think.
Yeah. So
Puka was looking he's so strong.
Yeah.
Like he makes the catch and then like safeties get a good look at him and they bounce off him.
Yep.
That first touchdown catch that he made, he's like running the skinny post. There's 2 defenders there and he just strongmanned him and walked into the end zone. Yeah.
And that really helps free up Adams, who scores
a didn't have a touchdown last week. They scored 45 points and Devontae Adams didn't score. Crazy.
They ran a fair bit in that too. So,
and there's been some pretty good receiving tandems this year, but I think Nakua and Adams probably number 1.
Lions have been better in recent weeks after Dan Campbell took over the offensive play calling. So we'll see how that continues in this. They're still an interesting packet. I don't think they're quite as good as they were last year.
Evidently off their record, you wouldn't say.
Yeah, agree.
I still wouldn't want to run into them inside in their playoff game, I don't think.
No, I agree.
No.
So, it'll be... What are the odds in this? I'm assuming it's closer.
No. It's pretty handy favourites.
They are favourites at $1.35. Detroit at $3.22.
Can you find total match points for that? Because surely that's going to be a 50 burger.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yep, 54.5.
Yeah, big. Could see some points, and then also chase up Stafford MVP stuff. It's
Sort by touchdowns.
for the Lions. It's almost like last year they had all the hype. They're the 1 seed. They go, they get bumped twice at home.
Yeah, I think last year was their window. So
You reckon you've missed it?
well, I wonder if I don't want to say missed it, but I wonder if they're got a bit of a hangover, or whether they're kind of like where the Rams got to, and the Goff's maybe slightly a bit more limited for a quarterback. I still think he's really good, but he's not Matthew Stafford, which is what the realization the Rams had.
Sure.
So not many quarterbacks are, but
They've got Jameer Gibbs.
Yeah.
They.
they've got weapons all over the place.
Yeah.
Like their offensive line's good. Maybe defense is where it lets them down a bit. They could be better
Their Lions
defensively.
defense is not as good as the Rams defense, that's for sure. But yeah, there's not going to be the expectation of last year either.
True.
Be interesting.
Yeah.
They just had a really no, they haven't really had a hard schedule.
Have you got their up? Who do they? So if they lose this, they're in big danger of missing the playoffs too.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the run.
That'll put them to, well, if they
They
lose.
play the Bears week 18.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got Steelers, Vikings, and Bears.
They could win all three of those. But yeah, huge game. Yeah, you wouldn't want to lose that. Stafford MVP odds and touchdowns of intercepts is crazy.
I think he's 33 to 3, isn't it? 33 to 3.
I'll get that, Monks.
Yep.
You go through the odds.
Yep. So yeah, he is favourite at $1.57. After
5 and 4. There you go.
Please continue.
Breaking news. No, so Drake May. Drake May.
I'm doing it quick. Where's continue?
Are you sure? Drake May is second there at $3.10. Jordan Love is $12. Josh Allen $13 there, round out the top 4, and then it really starts dropping off there with Dak Prescott at $76. Bo Nix $101. Get on that.
According to the bookies, that's a 2-horse race, really. A month out. Stafford, heavy favourite. Drake May, not out of it. And then already in double digits for Love and Allen. But a lot can happen in a month if you got hurt.
For the Rams, it's a huge worry, of course.
Let's hope from a football perspective that doesn't happen. He does have 35 passing touchdowns, which is 9 ahead of Dak, 4 intercepts, which is Jordan Love's thrown 4, but pretty much none of the starting quarterbacks have thrown that few. And his passer rating at 113 is well ahead of a fair few. Although Drake May, passer rating 111.
Goff there at 110. So
I think barring injury, it's probably Stafford's. And as we've seen in recent years, it's a quarterback's award, and usually it's a quarterback that plays for a good team.
Yeah.
Pretty much what we're saying.
Bulk touchdowns.
Yep.
Panthers and Saints, we sort of alluded to it before when we were talking Thursday night football. But if the Panthers win this and take a pretty handy lead over the Bucks, they could afford one loss against the Bucks because they do play them twice in the last 3 weeks. If the Saints win this, then it's
Which is potential. They've been
Tyler Shuck's been
good. Yeah, they've been an upset
Really?
city.
Last week? Yeah.
Buccaneers last week, bro.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. And they beat someone else.
That's right.
They beat someone else not too bad recently as well.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been better for them.
And again, that
They
opens
beat
up.
the Panthers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Panthers are horrible when they're favourites. We've spoken about it
Yes.
on the podcast before, but they have a horrendous record, and then they go out and beat the Rams and do shit like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, an interesting conversation around Shuck and his last month of football because if he continues to play well, they may not take quarterback.
Well, it might be too high because they've won 5 games now.
4, I think.
What's the
NFL standings.
Saints 3.
3?
Yeah. Sorry. Yep.
You're already giving them this win, have you?
Yeah. Big upset coming. Yeah.
I mean, Panthers are favourites. $1.62 against Saints $2.30.
Saints run at home is pretty easy as well. Maybe they throw a few games. They've beaten Tampa Bay, Carolina, and the Giants. So I haven't really knocked off anyone too crazy.
But guys in their division, though.
Yeah. And then they go Carolina, New York, at Tennessee, at Atlanta.
They do have a good run home.
Their tickets are so cheap. It's crazy. It's one of the few places in the NFL where you can get in, for less than $20.
Yep. Yeah.
Packers Broncos,
Big game.
a huge game, potentially a Super Bowl. The Broncos are 10 in a row. Sean,
Right.
they're your team. Without glazing them too hard, they're Super Bowl ready. You would think. I don't think
That's
you win.
the hope.
I don't think you win 11 games and not be.
Yeah, still got big question marks on their weapons on offense, but they know how to win football games. So I think it's the main thing, and they play really good defense. So that helps a lot. They've had a pretty good record against the Packers at home, too, historically. So I think it'll be a good game. Like you said, it's a bit of a preview for playoffs.
Like you said, they're good at winning. So, the last month of football, only just got the job done, but got it done at Vegas, won in overtime against Commanders, 3-point win against Kansas City, 3-point win against Vegas, 3-point win against Houston. And oftentimes that's what separates the good teams from the not so good teams. Compare those ticket prices.
Like I said, big game in Denver.
$286 compared to $12, I think it was.
Yeah.
In Carolina.
The good thing for Denver, they've got a tough run home. So if they want to be playoff ready,
Got to be battle hardened.
go through Green Bay, Jacksonville,
Yeah.
Kansas City, and then finish with the Chargers.
Yeah.
Like it's a tough run home. Like three of those guys are most likely playing in the playoffs.
Packers, on the other hand, have probably steadied their ship after a few losses mid-season that they shouldn't really have lost. I don't know if you guys have seen any of the Jordan Love Toyotathon stuff, but Toyotathon's essentially like their massive sale before Christmas kind of thing. And it started to become a bit of a thing because he's wearing a Toyotathon hoodie on McAfee, and he knows very well that he plays very well during Toyotathon. During his career in Toyotathon, he's 36 touchdowns, 2 intercepts. So plays pretty good.
That's a start.
Yeah, in late November, early December. And yeah, as you said in the MVP odds there, amongst into the fourth favourite. The offense has actually looked a lot more viable with the resurgence of Christian Watson.
Yep,
so
100% agree.
Deep threat.
Finally, have a wide receiver one.
Yeah. It's on talent. It's been him, the last 3 or 4 years, but
He's just gotta stay
ACL,
healthy.
hamstrings, recurrent soft tissue issues, and for a guy whose top end speed is certainly his major weapon, it really hurts when you're banged up. But yeah, he had 2 long touchdowns, and Love just hit him on the numbers both times.
Yeah.
The defense is looking nasty. They're certainly got the makeup of a championship caliber team. Just a few disappointing losses against, Browns and Panthers.
Yeah, I think that would be the question mark. But if they're playing to the level of competition, if they're playing to the top teams, hopefully they're playing well.
They've been beating lots of the good teams as well. So they've
They
beaten.
have.
They've beaten the Lions twice. They did miss out against the Eagles not too long ago. But I'll just tell you how they've looked in.
They do get Bears,
They got-
Ravens, Vikings to finish off the year.
Yeah. So huge game at Denver, and then another huge game at Chicago, and then finish off with Baltimore.
Baltimore
and
game's probably
Minnesota.
huge as well for Baltimore in their division. So they want to win, and then one against Minnesota.
But yeah, having the tiebreaker against Detroit is massive, and next week against Chicago, if you beat them twice, that's division pretty much.
Yep.
Gold Seahawks.
Can we get some odds
grab
first
some odds.
on
yes.
Packers?
I'd say it's close.
Broncos. And
Maybe Denver slight favourite at home.
No.
Packers.
Yeah,
Packers.
I thought the national media they love Packers too much.
Packers are favourites at $1.62. Hang on, no, reading the wrong line. $1.72.
That's right, you're close.
Yeah,
I would have ran with that within 10 cents.
within 10 cents, rounding error. And Broncos are $2.13.
Huge game.
Yep.
If that's not your Super Bowl, what other? Throw some other Super Bowl matchups at me.
AFC's hard.
Yeah, it is.
because there's a lot of upstarts. Let's call it in there. I don't know. can't.
Rams Bills.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can't run past the Bills. I think the Rams are probably my favorite on the NFC side at the moment. But
Seahawks, that's a good segue. The Seahawks
have been pretty good.
Very, very good.
Yeah.
Do you get the Colts? Colts, of course, have Daniel Jones tore his Achilles. I believe he's playing through some sort of fracture, and he's
On the other side.
Other side?
Yeah, so he had a
Okay.
fractured fibula, which
Wow.
can sort of weight bear on. I'm very surprised that they played him.
Yeah, I saw some of the highlights of him training, and it looks so.
Yeah, he looked very laboured, and then, look, it's probably a freak accident that you do your Achilles on the other side, but there's some question
Extra
marks there.
strainer, etc.
Yeah,
maybe.
exactly. He knew.
Yeah.
You could just see. In his
Yeah, it was
face.
no contact kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was just like went down and
Another quarterback Achilles starting to become a sad but common sight in the NFL.
Yeah.
And then
lot
the,
of push-off
the
drives.
story of the week, maybe not in the NFL, but maybe just in sport, is 44-year-old grandfather Philip Rivers. Schefter reported today likely to get the start.
Yep.
Likely to get the
What
start.
in the hell is going on? He's been involved with the Colts over the last few years. So he's actually been mentoring Riley Leonard and knows the offense.
Yeah, well, their head coach used to be his QB coach for a long
Yes,
time.
so him and Shane Steichen have got a close relationship.
And I believe the same offense he runs with his high school is the exact same one they run here. So he knows it he knows this offense very, very well. The main question is, can he drive the ball and still sling it with his side action? And from what we've seen, he can still get the football around. I think Madden did him a little bit dirty with they gave him a big fat like player profile.
Left tackle.
Yeah, exactly. They rushed him the game. He's a bit overweight. Maybe he's got a few extra pounds, but I don't think
There was
it's
Jono
too
asked him
bad.
about his weight too. They
Yeah.
said, "What's your current playing weight?" And he said, "Not what it was when I was
Yeah, exactly.
the NFL." But he also said, "I don't run away from guys anyway." So
Yeah.
he might be running out there at 260 or something.
Yeah. You got to remember, this is a bloke that played an AFC Championship game with a torn ACL. So, like, he's a wild human. And, I can see the story. Like, they've got young quarterbacks, and they're kind of banged up as well. They're kind of a playoff team. They're right in the fight there. They could probably make the playoffs. Do they want some playoff experience, etc.? A guy that really knows their offense. There really isn't anyone else that fits so well for the Colts outside of Philip Rivers. So I can see why they've done this, but it's also Blake's 44. He was a semi-finalist for the Hall of Fame this year. So if he does start, he'll have to
So
reset
that pushes him back 5
Yeah,
years.
yeah, it restarts his
Crazy.
clock. So
Yeah.
And it's if he takes the field,
it takes a snap.
takes a snap.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Right.
So yeah, he'll reset his clock. But if he's starting, it's all likely. And considering, I think was it this year he did the full sign with the Chargers for
Yeah, a day. Yeah, 1 day
retired. They brought out all these ex-players that he played with
The
the
Chargers got to
Chargers.
be a bit dirty about it, don't they?
I don't think
You'd think so.
again, we're probably in just that rare circumstance where the Colts are in playoff contention, don't have a good available quarterback. Who's the quarterback that knows offense the best? Like, yeah.
Yeah,
It
so
is
Jones,
what it
so Jones does his Achilles. Riley Leonard comes in, actually is okay,
Okay.
and then has some sort of knee complaint,
Yeah,
not
has
an
a knee,
ACL.
yep.
And AR-15 still not good to
He's
go.
on IR with the eye injury, I believe. So,
Yeah, the depth chart has him on IR.
yeah.
They got Brett Rippin.
Rippin as well as another
Rippin,
backup.
yeah.
But again, like, none of those guys big playoff minutes.
Wild story. Let's see how the next 48 hours.
Yeah, the run into the Seahawks who don't play defense badly.
No. You've seen that run as well? They got 49ers, Jags, Texans. So a part of me does feel a bit concerned for 44-year-old who hasn't played football for 5 years
Yeah.
going up against those defenses.
Well, especially Houston at the end.
Oh.
Don't love it.
But then again, he'll go out there. He'll throw 5 touchdowns for 400 and say, "I've been here the whole time." He'll be like,
Can you imagine the storyline if they make a playoff run
Well,
with him?
the biggest joke is if you look up passing yards for all-time passing yards. He's
For Colts or just in
no
general?
in general. He's 6, Stafford 7, and he's about 200 behind. So he's basically gone, nah, hold on, I'm gonna have to hold this for a little bit longer.
Hold my beer.
So,
Can he overtake people? That's my next question. 'Cause
oh, could he move up in the list?
Interesting.
Yeah, good question.
Let's
Because
have a look.
he's going to have Breeze, Brady, Manning in the top 3. Yep, Favre's 4. Rogers probably not. Could he get?
He can get Roethlisberger.
Roethlisberger.
So he's only,
Wow.
he's only 700, let's say, behind Roethlisberger. So if he plays the last month of football, could probably jump Big Ben.
And then if you scroll down
That's wild.
slightly more, then you'll get Stafford as number 8. There you go.
So Stafford,
Only 300 behind.
Stafford's only a few 200 behind.
It's just like, hold on. Hold my beer.
Also funny that all like those guys around him are contemporaries that have been retired for a few bits. So Roethlisberger,
Yeah.
Matt Ryan, Rodgers obviously still going, Drew Brees, Tom Brady. Yeah, crazy. 44-year-old grandfather. I wish him all the best. What have we got? Another $1.10, Monks? Is that just the go-to odds for the big favourites?
No.
$1.08.
$1.08. Seahawks. Colts are $8.50.
I really think
Get around that
Rivers is not going to be able to
$8.50.
do anything for him.
Yeah.
Have you seen Jackson Smith in Jigba? He's like 300 yards ahead of the two.
Is he still on pace to break Megatron's record, or has he slowed down a little
I
bit?
think he's behind it now.
Yeah.
So he
Still got 100 yards a game average.
Yeah, so he needs about 550, I think, to go past
Yeah.
Megatron.
Yeah, it was like 1,900 and something. So if he hit the 2,000, he got the record. I remember we looked this up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
It's-
1950 or something, isn't it?
1908. I think it's 1918. Let's see if I remembered correctly. Damn, 1960.
1964. So he is currently 1428. So he's
Near the
540 behind. So very doable.
Yep.
More likely than Mike Evans getting his 1,000 yards,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I think he's now he's averaged 270 in the last
Yeah,
year.
I don't think it's gonna
Like Baker tried. I think he had
Yeah,
13 targets.
130 receiving yards. Not
Yeah.
bad for a bloke who's missed 6 weeks of
Six
football.
receptions for 130. So
It's interesting
tried.
because Puka, who missed a couple games, is 250 yards behind him. Had he not got hurt, we might have had two guys, fighting out for the record.
And Pickens being
Yeah.
the pickup of the year, I think.
He's been
for receivers.
incredible. We'll get to the Cowboys in a second, but CD might miss because of concussion. So, Pickens has been a really, really good signing.
Do you want to segue into the Vikings Cowboys because they're up next?
That's a great segue. Sunday Night Football, Vikings, Cowboys. The Vikings, much like the Bengals, much like a few teams that we've spoken about, are a mathematical chance. I think in the real world that we live in, which is maybe not a simulation.
The Vikings
I
are.
don't think they can make it.
Yeah, the Vikings are an interesting one because it's whether 9 shows up or not.
Nine showed up last week.
Yeah,
didn't he?
but the week before he didn't.
No.
But the week
Most of
before that he
season-
did.
Most of the season he hasn't.
So they have this really interesting, like massive games and they suck, then massive games. So if my math is correct, he'll all sack for this one.
But you see in the games that he's been good, he's not having to throw the rock too much. Like the defense is playing well, they run the football well.
Yep.
He throws for 140 yards.
Oh, shocker! They play like
and
they
he
should
doesn't
go.
throw. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So Pickens got a bit of flack after CD Lamb went out and running his routes a little bit soft, if you will, or a bit slow. See if whether he'll come out and be G'd up for this one because I think CD's going to miss and Pickens will be the heavy favourite.
Cowboys are 2 games behind the Eagles. They won't love that the Eagles are playing the Raiders this week. The Eagles still have to play the Commanders twice. So, again, I think these teams are just you're trying to set up for 2026. But
I think the Cowboys got to win out to be in the conversation for
need
maybe an AFC wildcard, which they could get because they've got the tie.
they need the Eagles to lose at least 2. And when they play,
I don't think they win in the division.
and
I think they
Commanders
finish
tomorrow.
second.
and I don't think they're going to get a wild card.
Yeah, it's going to be
the
really
NFC
tough.
North too, and the NFC West are too
Yeah.
competitive.
Yep. But I wonder, they got. That's what I'm saying. I think they got to win out and then hope their tie gives them the difference.
Yeah,
But like you said, I don't think it's.
I think both those teams, it's mid sort of draft picks, and see you in 2026.
Yeah.
Monday Night Football, the Dolphins 6-7 take on the Steelers 7-6. Big story breaking today with TJ Watt to miss because he's had to have surgery for a collapsed lung. And it wasn't from a football-related injury. It was a medical mishap from some dry needling. Tyrod Taylor, similar sort of thing about 5 years ago. I think that was from a cortisone injection. You do run the risk of puncturing lungs.
Yeah, especially when Dr. Nick is going, hey, I put the needle in here.
How does that happen? Like,
Just pushing down too far.
You essentially have to use the wrong size needle, or you're being aggressive and trying to get an intercostal muscle or something that you're looking at pros versus cons of needling, something like that.
Yeah.
And he would have had a tiny little hole in his
lung.
pleura, and then that would have started to fill up with air.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Not good.
No.
He probably wouldn't have realised till hours or potentially days after
Yeah.
it happened. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he's going to miss.
Yep.
He'll likely play again this season, as Barry
Yep.
reports, but he's going to miss this Monday Night Football game. Steelers are not quite in struggle town. They're above their 500, which is very Steelers of them.
Mike Tomlin's been doing it for 20 years.
Yeah,
But
exactly. So they'll keep angling on that, and they're currently leading the division again, so they'll be very happy. Finns, though, are on a 4-game win streak after starting 1-6. So
they were horrible to start off.
yeah, they've got the same record as the Chiefs, which has been the meme in the AFC. So do they beat the Steelers? I don't know. I think that Bills game was probably
Beat the Bills a month ago
Yeah.
handedly.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then
Consistency's been a problem. Got touched up by the Ravens.
beat Commanders, Saints,
They've
Jets.
lost to the Panthers. Got touched up by the Browns.
Yeah.
So
But then smoked the Falcons.
which Dolphins going to show up?
Exactly.
Their run home is Jets. Beat the Jets last week. Then they have Steelers, Bengals, Bucks, Pats. I think with the AFC East the way it is, it's too little, too late from the Finns.
Yeah.
But
Again, they're a team that has to win out to be in the conversation. So.
yeah, and I think
And I think they could be spoilers for a couple of those teams because you got Bengals and Buccaneers in there, and maybe Patriots for a certain seeding.
Patriots could be playing the twos that weekend.
Yeah,
too.
also very possible.
Yeah.
So I think it's a pretty big game at this point in the season for both these teams, but I think the Steelers should probably still be too good for the Dolphins. Dolphins don't do too well against strong offenses.
That's the preview for the NFL. We had alluded before for Super Bowls. I'm a Packers man, so I'll say Packers Bills.
Packers Bills.
What are you gonna back your boys?
I'd love to see them make it in there, and I think they're pretty close. But I'm just going to stick with Bills for now on the AFC, and I'll stick with the Rams for now. I'll just go with the two best quarterbacks in the divisions currently.
It's probably the shortest,
And I'll be
shortest
safe
price
there.
Super Bowl, I reckon.
But yeah, I do like all our teams kind of as teams on the ascendancy that can potentially steal playoff wins.
Max, you got one for us?
I'll keep the Rams there. I go Patriots.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
$4.50 for the Rams to win the whole thing. $7.50 a piece for the Packers and Seahawks. $9 for the Bills. $10 for Broncos and Pats and Eagles. 14 Texans. 17 Jags. 18 Lions. 21 Ravens. Chargers. Niners. Then it starts to blow out a little.
Yeah.
Let's talk a bit of college football. We don't always talk it on this show, but it's a nice time of the year. We will be brief. So, Conference Championship weekend last weekend, the way that it's set up, the committee has said that the top 5 ranked...
Jimmy, can you try to find like a bracket to put on there?
Yeah, bring it up. So,
going.
top 5 ranked conference champs, automatic qualification. You have 10 conferences in Division 1 football. Okay, so... famously SEC and Big Ten, you're going to get some pretty strong teams coming out of them. But it also opens the door for James Madison out of the Sun Belt and Tulane out of the American Athletic, just based on their seasons, only lost 2 and 1 games between them to bust into the bracket. And then you have the likes of Texas and Vanderbilt, who have had a very good season, miss out. Notre Dame, who were actually ranked higher than Miami, didn't play. Miami jumped them. Neither team's played, so the committee's just gone, we fucked up here, I think. So Notre Dame miss out.
And I think Notre Dame have said they
were doing something really like petty. Like
they're not playing any bowl games.
or
So they're saying
something.
our season's done. Like, we're finished. It's just like, if you're not going to include us.
So it is a
so
bit
no
of a
bowl
shit
game
show.
for us.
I do wonder if there's talks to maybe expand to 16, which is crazy considering 10 years ago we didn't have a bracket, and then we went to 4 teams, then we've got 12 now.
Is this the first official year with a playoff bracket like this?
Nah, so we've had this one the last 2 or 3, I think. Yeah. So top 4 seeds get a week off. So that's 1 is Indiana, 2 is Ohio State, 3 is Georgia, 4 is Texas Tech. And then all these teams play this weekend in knockouts. So you get James Madison at Oregon. Winner plays Texas Tech. Alabama at Oklahoma. That's massive. Winner gets Indiana. Tulane at Ole Miss. Winner gets Georgia. Miami at Texas A&M. winner gets Ohio State. The 12 and 11, James Madison and Tulane will be very long odds to win their games.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Coming out of the weaker divisions. Also, an interesting one in the Atlantic Coast. The Duke managed to get in because it goes off conference record, not overall record. So they actually only had an 8-5 overall record. Go in and beat Virginia and win the conference with an 8-5 record. But
6-2 in the conference.
correct. But because their record is where it's at, they don't get into the playoffs. So that all kicks off. That first round is next weekend. So there's a few little bowl games this weekend, but yeah, the big weekend starts next weekend.
New Year's Day game?
Into the
Jeez.
quarterfinals, which are New Year's Day and Jan 2, and national championship in the 20th of January in Miami. So watch this space, and we'll have pretty good look here at some of the prospects as well for next year.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into the NBA.
Curry sets, fires, puts it up. Bang!
The Pistons still
Continue to be number one.
lead the East. Yep, 19-5. I was having a look at some potential All-Star lineups earlier today. Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren are near locks for the East. Could have 4 Jalens in the 12-man East. We've spoken a little bit about how common that name is at the moment.
Yep.
But yeah, Pistons still 2 games ahead of the Knicks. Knicks 4-game win streak. They've only lost 1 game at the Garden. For mine, I think they're the most dangerous team in the East. Celtics ascending.
Yep.
They're they're third. Yep. Jaylen Brown's averaging a tick under 30 points a game. They'll also get boosted at some stage in 2026 with the return of Jason Tatum. They could be a real problem, I think, come playoff time. Magic sitting in 4, 15-10. Franz Wagner looking pretty good. Raptors are on a slide. They've lost 4 in a row. They were second, I think, in the East. The last pod, they're down to 5. 76ers in 6. Tyrese Maxey leads the East with 31 points per game. Cavs, don't know if you've been following Donovan Mitchell at all. He's had 3 40-point games in the last 2 weeks since our last pod, including putting up 48 today against the Wizards. Heat in 8, they're sliding. Hawks, one of those Jalen Johnson, probably likely to get Eastern All-Star call with 23 points per game, 10 rebounds, 8 assists. And our boy Dyson Daniels, he's not quite on the same pace as what he was in last season, but he's still second in the league for steals, 2.2 per game. Probably the big story, at least from an Eastern Conference point of view this week, is in Milwaukee. So it must be about 9 days ago now that Giannis had a funny-looking calf injury. What did you make of that one?
Funny. Well, you tell me, what was the mechanism?
There was no mechanism. I didn't really see. We've seen, obviously, a lot of Achilles in the NBA of late, which is usually step back and then push on a dorsiflexed ankle, and then the Achilles goes. You could argue that one could have a slowly onset, calf strain that looked pretty innocuous because he'd taken about 4 steps already before he dropped.
And in the first couple of minutes of the start of the game as well. And well, what was the joke? He did his trade-itis or something like that.
I think someone had put, Tradius Maximus or something that sounded a bit anatomical there, because all the rumours had been that he wants out and Knicks are the front runners, and we've still got probably 6 weeks of having to listen to this because the trade deadline's first week of Feb. We're not going to see Giannis now for a few weeks, and potentially we may not see him again as a Buck.
Yep, it's also potential. I still wonder if, again, that's just his usual year rhetoric where he comes along and says, trade me, and then they go out and get someone to appease him. So whether he's just like, hey, we're 10th at the moment, we need to improve, either go get someone or get rid of me. So, and generally they go get him someone. We'll see what they do this year.
They got him Miles Turner. He's probably got one of the better bigs that he's had to go with him of late, but obviously Dame not there this year and doing, rehabbing his own Achilles. Monk's got an article up there which has linked the Heat potentially as being interested. The Warriors, that would be crazy. I don't think the league would want to see that. And then, Knicks, I think still probably the front runners because they're in championship mode right now.
Yeah, watch him get traded to the Lakers for LeBron or some shit like that.
For LeBron.
Before we're talking about the Antetokounmpos for the Jameses, this is a whole family trade affair.
We'll do families for families.
Yeah.
And look, not good for the Bucks this season.
No.
All this outside noise, and I think if he does get traded, that's probably season done for them, I would think.
Agree. Bulls a bit struggling.
Yeah, man, 7-game losing streak. We're pumping up their tyres as was everyone in the first month and a half of the NBA, but completely butchered their good start. Unfortunately, they were 9-7 at one stage. They're 9-14 now. However, for Aussie ball fans, Josh Giddey
continues to be good.
Yeah, may still be an all-star. We're talking about his triple-double stats and how good they're
his numbers are still
looking.
good, so.
Incredible. So watch that space and vote. There's no reason why you can't vote from outside of the US in the all-star fan vote. And we could be looking at potentially an Aussie all-star in the East.
Yep.
Hornets 7-17, but at least positively, Con Knupple's been good for them. He's averaging 41% from 3-point and 18 points per game. I think we're starting to look at the teams to put lines through. MPJ's been good at the Nets, but they're 6-17. The Pacers are going to have too much to do when Hallie gets back, and the Wizards no good. Over in the West, probably the funnest thing to talk about, I think, in terms of the NBA at the moment, is the Thunder, 24-1. They've won 16 in a row, so it's the best first quarter of a season in 10 years since the Warriors went 21-0, and one of the best starts to a season of all time. The question probably is, how many games can they win from this start? So the regular season record is that same Warriors team, 73-9, but famously went on to lose the finals to LeBron and the Cavs, and bringing a first championship to the city of Cleveland. And all the craziness around that storyline 10 years ago. Shout out to Matthew Dellavedova if you're listening. So that's certainly on the cards.
Yep.
Right? They'd have to lose 8 more games to equal that record, and potentially might be gunning for the record. Other best regular seasons are Jordan twice, so 95, 96 Bulls, and then 96, 97 Bulls, won 72 games and 69 games, respectively, and the 71, 72 Lakers won 69 games. You'd think they'd be high 60s at least, and then into the 70s, and potentially a catastrophic injury to SGA, the only thing that's stopping them from winning that many.
Yep. Yeah, I think if they can keep their big four, essentially, that team's red hot.
Chet's been better this year. Jalen Williams has come back in recent. He was missing for the first part as well, so can obviously win without their Jalen. And SGA is 32.5 points per game. He's second in the league, and he's up there in the MVP odds. Monks, whilst you're there, they're less than $2 to win the whole thing, aren't they? The Thunder.
Yes, yeah, only just $1.91.
It's crazy though. In December.
In December, Nugs are $8.50.
Rockets actually quite high there.
Yeah, well, they're third on that list at the moment.
$13 equal with the Knicks. $13 there.
Where's the Lakers?
Bookies agree with me. RE Knicks, they're shorter than the Pistons. Much shorter.
Lakers are $2 there. Pistons are 26.
Lakers are 20.
20. Yep.
Surrounded by dyslexics.
Rounding error. Yep. And SGA is favourite for MVP this early in the season.
3-horse race, which it has been now for the last month.
And I assume it's Joker and Luka, is the other two?
Yep.
Yeah. So the two boys that are one's averaging a big triple-double and one's averaging a near triple-double.
Yep.
So that's actually a good little segue into the Nuggets, who are second. Joker's numbers, 29.5 points per game, 5th overall, 12.3 rebounds, 1st overall, 10.9 assists, 1st overall, and he's got a teammate that can drop 50 like he did against the Pacers, Jamal Murray. So if someone is to bother the Thunder, it might be the Nugs, might be the Rockets in 3rd, might be the Lakers in 4th.
Yeah, I agree. I think, we've talked about this conference being pretty dominant, and I continue.
Doesn't it?
Exactly.
Şengün's been incredible for the Rockets. Obviously, KD coming in, they're always going to get a little bit better, but he's come along again as pretty much guaranteed all-star. Alperen Şengün, 23 points, 9.5 rebounds, 7 assists for the Big Turk. And then, we've got to talk about Luka. He is well ahead in terms of points per game, 35, which leads the league, and then 9 boards, 9 dimes. Rounding out that big 3, I guess, in the league at the moment.
Yep.
And again, no Americans up there. Probably Cade Cunningham leading the charge in terms of MVP chat, but a long way behind those 3. Shout out to Hillbilly Kobe, Austin Reeves. He had 44 against the Raptors and did well before Luka came back as well. He's making a push for potentially an All-Star selection himself.
Yeah, he's been good. And LeBron's kind of like
LeGoat's
a role player.
Did you see he broke the streak of consecutive 10-point games?
Yeah.
And it was to dish the assist that won the game.
Yeah.
So completely selfless and correct decision for LeGoat to make. But it cost him a streak which went back. Can you actually look up that double-digit streak for LeBron? It went back to 2006 or something.
Yeah,
It's
it was a long time.
It's like a stupid one. It's like a before the iPhone kind of streak for LeBron. LeBron, double-digit point streak, something like that, and try and find the year that goes back to. It might go, I think it's like his second year in the league or something.
Yeah.
Which is...
It's still wild to think he's in that team and he's...
1,297 consecutive games. It goes back to 2007, excuse me.
Yeah, 1 year off. That's close enough.
18-year streak. And was to dish the assist that won the game on the buzzer beater. Incredible stuff. Spurs are still awaiting the return of Wemby. It's starting to look like he is close, ready to return Saturday on limited minutes. So that would be Saturday their time. That's tomorrow our time. Yep. So cool. We're hopefully seeing 10 to 20 minutes of Wemby. That's an NBA Cup semi-final. So potentially why they're risking it, I guess, against OKC.
OKC, yeah.
Big game.
Hopefully
potentially
he goes fine. He was looking like an absolute alien in the first month before doing a calf himself. T-Wolves in 6. The Ant-Man's looking pretty good. He had 40-odd the other night against the Pels. Suns.
They started the season a bit average.
Yes, so they've righted the ship a little bit. The Grizz in 9th have righted the ship a little bit. There's a few teams that are certainly, competing in that sort of next tier in the West, which gets very, very competitive. We saw last year that play-in spot going down to literally the last day, which was pretty fun, to see.
There's a lot of big names in this area. So you got Suns there at 7.
Yeah, so Booker's had a low-grade groin injury, but
still been good.
Yeah, they've been playing overs potentially in the post-KD world. Warriors still there. Steph's looking like he's going to be an all-star again, albeit missed the last 5 games, but they've actually managed to win on the road without him as well. Pods and Draymond and, some of the young, some of the old still getting it done for the Warriors. Grizz just mentioned they're 7-2 since our last pod, and Jars hasn't been playing for them either. He's out with a calf. So,
he's out and they start winning.
Interesting. Your favourite player in the NBA, I think. The Mavs...
Super talented.
Definitely talented, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Mavs 9-16. AD's back from that Achilles tendinopathy, I think was probably what you'd call it. He was really big against the Rockets. Cooper Flagg, finding his feet, 17 points a game, out of a number 1 draft pick, just sort of easing into it. And then we start looking at, some of the teams that probably aren't going to play playoffs, but Blazers and Jazz maybe started a bit better than what people would have thought. They've got 2 guys that might push for all-star selection in Denny Avdija in Portland and Lauri Markkanen in Utah. And then I think it's Kings, Clippers, Pels making up the numbers. The big story for the Clippers is they pretty much said thanks but no thanks to, NBA and club legend Chris Paul.
Yeah, walked out the door.
Well, pushed out the door.
Yeah.
The Clippers president Lawrence Frank said, "We're parting ways with Chris. No longer be on the team. We'll work with him on the next step of his career. He's a legendary Clipper, has had an historic career. I want to make one thing clear. No one is blaming Chris for our underperformance." Kind of looks like that if you tear up his contract. But anyways, they haven't done any better since.
Well, that team is so old.
So old.
Yeah. I think Chris had also already announced that he was retiring at the end of the year too, for probably his 3rd or 4th retirement so far.
John Farnham touring.
But I think he basically done, and whether they moved him so they could make some room, I don't know. But yeah, that team's been struggling, and they are, as we said, very, very old.
Too far behind now. It's only the Pels in the West that are worse, 4-22. One positive for them is their 13th overall pick. Derek Queen has been pretty good. He's already putting up 30-point games. So one positive for the Pels, who will be essentially playing for the 26-27 season. NBA starts at Christmas. We'll see how it all plays out. Who knows? A lot will change, I think, in the NBA before our next podcast.
When's the Cup one? Is that done before Christmas?
Yeah, so semis tomorrow, and then the final, I think, is a few days after that. So you get a NBA Cup final date next weekend, or are they playing it midweek? Shows how much we care about the NBA Cup.
Yeah, no one does.
It's midweek.
Midweek,
yeah. Tuesday night, so it'll be Wednesday our time. Yep. That bracket is Thunder Spurs and Magic Knicks. Winner to face off Tuesday night American time. All right, let's swap round ball codes. Marks, would you mind bringing up the qualified team, or
World Cup groupings?
Just the World Cup groups, if you wouldn't mind. Bit of a spectacle with Shaquille O'Neal, Wayne Gretzky, and the fearless leader Donald Trump.
Yes,
announcing some of the group picks.
Who's who of the US?
You see Wayne Gretzky's pronunciation on some of the countries.
Was he like me?
To be fair, you're probably not expecting Curacao to make the World Cup, so I think he was called him Curacao or something.
Yeah.
And Jordan, he went the long name on Jordan. So we have groups, albeit some of the UEFA paths not finalised just yet. So
is that mostly Europe?
All Europe, and then there's one interconfederational one, which has like the might of Iraq and New Caledonia still battling it out. So Group A hosts Mexico, gets South Africa, South Korea, and then a European qualifiers. This is going to be annoying. Okay, so it could be Czech Republic, Ireland, Denmark, or North Macedonia. The Danes.
Not a huge division. Group.
Yeah, well, the Danes were cruising and then got done by Scotland in that last game, and actually have to go the long way now. And we spoke about Ireland a couple of weeks ago, had an incredible win against Hungary in the 96th minute to even just get themselves into that. So Mexico, South Africa, South Korea, and then one of Czech, Denmark, Macedonia, Ireland.
Yep.
Into Group B, probably the weakest group on paper, I would say. So Canada, Mexico, USA, all in the first pot, if you will, as hosts.
So who's our both A winner?
Canada, Qatar, Switzerland, and then UEFA winner of Wales, Bosnia, Italy, Northern Ireland.
Italy be happy to get in that group. They need to win to get there. But
they're ranked they're the number one team out of these 16 that have to go this way.
Yeah.
They unfortunately got Haalanded, and Norway touched them up twice, so they do have to go the long way. They do get to play that Northern Ireland fixture in March in Italy. So hopefully for Italian fans, missing multiple consecutive World Cups would not be great.
Right the ship a little bit.
Group C, Brazil, Morocco, Haiti return to the World Cup for the first time in about 40 years, and Scotland.
Our group?
Group D, this is a big one for Socceroos fans. Actually, look at this here.
Big D.
Let's get it out here. Bit of Socceroos. Let's go up to Socceroos. Australia draw hosts USA, Paraguay, and then the UEFA pathway winner of Turkey, Romania, Slovakia, Kosovo. So probably not the strongest four there. Okay, and then
I think it's a pretty good group for us, honestly.
Yeah, it's certainly not a group of death by any means. America in America is probably going to be a tall order. But Paraguay, you get the sixth team coming out of South America. Yep. So out of any of the South American teams, it's probably...
Yeah, it's a competitive group for us. Like we can be competitive.
And out of the European ones that we're going to get, it's probably a good one. Yep. And with the possibility of getting out of the group, from finishing third, I think anything less than getting to knockout-based football would be a disappointing tournament.
I agree with you.
Sure. Yeah.
That pot A team, yes, you'd prefer probably Canada. Okay, but I don't know if you'd want to play Mexico at altitude, so USA is probably not a bad pool there. You'd much rather them than Spain,
because
Brazil, Germany.
We play one in Vancouver, then we play at Seattle, and then we play...
They're all West Coast games.
Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, they're all West Coast games, which also means the viewing over here is much...
We don't get the States up first, which is, I think, probably pretty good too.
We get the European team up first in Vancouver. So you get 3 points there, and that's half the job done.
Yep.
We play States at Seattle and then finish at Paraguay in Santa Clara. So all West Coast, and it means the viewing is similar time frames to what we watch for NFL. So I think there's a 6 a.m. one, there's like a 9 a.m., there's a midday.
Yep.
Into Group E, Germany, Curacao in their first World Cup, Ivory Coast, Ecuador. That one's set to go. No qualifiers to come out of that one. Group F, Netherlands, Japan, Tunisia, and then winner of UEFA B, which could be Ukraine, Sweden, Poland, Albania. That's a stronger European pathway, I would say. Yep. Into Group G, Belgium, Egypt, Iran, New Zealand. Cool to see Egypt at the World Cup. It means we get one of the world's best players, Mo Salah, actually at the World Cup. Do miss some some African powerhouses. I think we spoke about Nigeria and Cameroon both missing. So they're Gonskis. And Africa, I think, get 10 nations at the World Cup now, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Into Group H, speaking of Africa, Cabo Verde get their first trip to the World Cup with Spain, Saudi Arabia, Uruguay. Good luck to them. That's
it's a pretty decent group.
Yeah, it's a challenging group. It's a challenging group. Spain, I think, probably the shortest price to win the whole thing. Uruguay, how they go at the World Cup, and Saudi Arabia knocked off Argentina in the last World Cup. So
this Group I might be pretty interesting.
Really interesting. France, Senegal, Norway, and Norway have looked about just about the best team in
Senegal
Europe.
are usually pretty good. So
but then they get the international pathway. So Bolivia, Suriname, Iraq. Is that correct? They had pathway 2.
Yeah.
So Bolivia and Suriname have to play, and then winner gets Iraq.
Yeah.
We go.
And then
no, you had it right.
Go down to
because it's international.
Two.
So, so it's this one. So
because there is another pathway as
so
well.
Iraq must have won a game already to get to.
I think it's just higher seeding.
Higher seeding. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. So they'll.
And then Group J, Argentina, Algeria, Austria, Jordan.
Argentina will be happy with that one.
Yeah, Argentina should cruise out of that. And then Group K, Portugal, Uzbekistan, Colombia. Uzbekistan at their first World Cup. And then Pathway 1, New Caledonia, Jamaica, DRC.
Yeah, make it up
Group L.
Are we getting both goats going around? Messi and Ronaldo both playing?
Yep, should both be going. Certainly, still a big thing for Ronaldo's bucket list. I don't know at his age and where Portugal's at if they could win the whole thing, but we'll have a look at some odds in a second. Messi, I think, planning on going around. We'll talk about it now. Inter Miami just won the MLS Cup, and he was playing and looking okay.
Yep. And that's their first win of that since he's been there. So
so I think we're going to see them again, which is crazy because a lot of people were saying 4 years ago this might be the last time we see both of them at the World Cup.
They don't look like they've aged either of them. So
nuts.
They're freaks.
Philip Rivers to come out to goal keep for America. And Group L, actually quite a tough group. England, Croatia, Ghana, who have looked like one of the best teams in Africa, and Panama. So the way that it works, 48 teams, you come last in your group, you're out. And then of those 12 third place teams, 8 actually get out. Can you bring up some odds for us for the whole thing? That's Spain favourites I can see there.
No, Australia's at the top of the list there.
On an Aussie betting site, we are top of the list at 500 to 1.
500 to 1. Spain is favourite to win it outright at $5, followed closely by England there.
Who will choke? So don't have to worry about them.
To
$6.50.
be fair, they actually looked ridiculously good in their qualifiers, but England World Cups win out
in tournaments, etc.
Yeah, that's it. After England, obviously France is going to be there at $8.50. Brazil is $9. $9.50 for Argentina. Starts going out from there. Germany and Portugal at $13. Of the host nations, Mexico and the US are both at $71.
Canada 500s with us, I'd say.
Yeah, 105.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Save your money, I think.
Yes.
That's it. Any other teams there of note?
No, I think Norway are fun.
Norway is probably a fun
at
one.
26.
Yeah.
I think Belgium are out of their window now. They probably had a caliber team forward and 8 years ago that probably could have won the World Cup. I think they're probably out of that. Interesting that Italy are 41 bucks there that haven't qualified yet. Look, I think you look at the top of the list there. It's
just
I could see Spain winning the World Cup.
Yeah.
I could see England winning the World Cup. France, Brazil, Argentina, Germany. I could see them all winning the World Cup. And then you're probably down into the second tier.
Yeah.
So, we're only six months away. So, and we know, other than these qualifiers to happen in March, we know nearly all the teams.
Yep.
Very fun.
Let's do a quick EPL check. Arsenal have had a couple draws, so Man City are closing the gap on them. And Man City's...
The Arsenal joke, it's already
it's already happening. It's December. It's already happening. But
Table.
It seems each pod, the gap just becomes a little bit more narrow at the top of the EPL. So 15 games played. Arsenal at 33. In the last 5 games, they've had 2 draws and a loss. Whereas City are 4 from their last 5. They're only 2 points behind the Gunners now.
Villa making it interesting.
Villa and Palace.
Yeah.
So 5 in a row for Villa, including that win against Arsenal. And Palace, they're rounding out the Champions League spots. Chelsea, Man U, nipping at their heels. Everton, Brighton, Sunderland, Liverpool down in 10th.
What's that? Draw, win, loss. Yes. They've been having a rough go.
Not been good. There's Arne's flop.
Sorry.
That's okay. That's what Liverpool makes you do.
Yeah.
There's chatted about sacking a manager that just won the league, which is incredible. But you also think, you spend £1 billion and you should probably get better. So
You think so?
Well, yeah. I don't know.
You got the West Tigers over there running it or something.
West Tigers, Liverpool. Potato. Spurs, also a little bit of pressure mounting on them. They've only won 1 of their last 5 at 11th. Newcastle, Bournemouth, Brentford, Fulham, Leeds, Nottingham. And then the drop zone is West Ham, Burnley, Wolves are done. They haven't won a game yet. They've only had 2 draws. See ya in the championship next year, Wolverhampton. Interesting that next sort of run there for the the drop zone from Burnley to about Bournemouth. 10 points there, so could potentially see any of those guys dropping. But Burnley, Forest, West Ham.
West Ham hasn't been bad.
Leeds
They just
probably
can't win.
Yeah,
They've won 1 and had
4 draws.
All the draws. So.
Yeah, I think of those 10, I think Burnley is probably the next one that's likely to miss.
Yep.
Going back up the top marks, it's nice as a United man to actually see them within striking distance of Champions League football. A few big wins for United recently. Still a long way to go. I think good for football to have a stronger Everton after the last few years.
They get Chelsea next, so that'll be good.
Yeah, for sure. And Chelsea probably just, a little slip up in the last 3 weeks. A couple of draws and a loss, but certainly looking like a stronger team than they were last year.
Yeah, so City Palace is going to be a fun one. Villa gets West Ham, so you'd think they'd win that. Who's Arsenal play next?
Yeah, go right up to the top. Wolves. They're winning that.
Should win that.
Can you get some Champions League actually while you're at it? Because Arsenal are looking pretty good in the Champions League too. And I think we're about halfway through the group games. It is hard to sort of ascertain now in the Champions League how things work. Scroll us to the actual ladder. Yeah, so Arsenal, the only undefeated team left in the Champions League, had 17 goals for, 1 against, 18 points, looking really good.
Yeah.
And then Bayern, PSG, Man City, Atalanta, get around them in 5th, Inter Milan, Real Madrid, Atletico in the automatic qualifiers. And then we won't go through the whole thing because it's 36 teams. But of the English teams, lots sitting in that sort of next tier: Liverpool, Spurs, Newcastle, Chelsea. All you have to do is finish in the top 24 to give yourself a chance, and automatic for top 8. There's 6 match days in.
Yep.
Lots of teams already eliminated as well.
Yeah.
That'll do us for some soccer. Now from an international standpoint, don't really see much till March with those last European qualifiers in particular to keep an eye on. Yep. Let's wrap this thing up with a final round. UFC 323 gave us 2 new champions, one in a fairly unfortunate circumstances in the flyweight fight. But at bantamweight, Peter Yan returns to being a champion. He was only an interim champ before, is that correct? No, he's been full champ. Full champ.
Then he lost the belt and went on a 4-fight losing streak, and then he's gone on a 4-fight winning streak, and he's back.
What a redemption.
And he looks really good. Like he managed to maintain the pace with Merab and did well enough wrestling with him. So
Which is no feat.
No mean feat. Like they had good exchanges, and he was just more dominant, I guess, on the damage side of it. His jab was very impressive, and he wobbled Merab several times. They tipped each other and dropped them on the heads. It was a pretty good fight, honestly. But Jan was the better one of the lot in this. So interesting in the bantamweight division. What's to come next? Because I think he got it there that O'Malley's got.
He's got Song Yadong
next.
And Umar Nurmagomedov has got Figgy.
Figgy.
Both at 324.
Yeah.
So pending results there.
Which is end of January. I looked at that. It's the 24th.
They have a break now through Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah, so no main events now for 6 weeks.
Yeah, so I think O'Malley's kind of angling because he has a win over Jan in that 4-fight losing streak that I talked about.
Very marketable fighter
it's very,
as well.
very marketable there. Umar didn't really do too much against Merab, so whether they want him to go do something else, a good win will definitely help that.
Had previously been undefeated before
Yeah.
losing to Merab at UFC 311.
A big win for Song maybe over O'Malley might jump into the conversation, but again, the division's opened up. It's a bit fun. What's quite interesting, I think, from the start of the year to this year, every division has had a changeover of title.
Yeah.
And I think light heavyweight's the only one with Pereira coming back and winning his belt back was the only one that retained, let's say, at the end of the year from where it started. So
Still no male Americans either. Yep. Holloway's the highest pound for pound American fighter in the men's, which is crazy.
yeah, but no Beltskis.
Mackenzie Dern there is an American champ, but just no male ones.
Yep.
What do you think they do in a bantamweight setting? Do you have to wait for 324 to find out, could they just run that back? Merab obviously been
pretty dominant.
Dominant in that division for a long time.
They could potentially run it back. I think with that only being 5-6 weeks away, I think they'll just wait. See how that plays out, and then make a decision on the next title fight.
If there is a scenario to run something back, it's something like this, where you've had a champ for a number of years, he didn't get starched, he goes the distance.
Yeah. Well, and he had 4 title fights this year, so like he's been pretty active.
He's a company man.
So whether they do a solid by him, there is that.
He dropped 5 places in the pound for pound down to 8, so he was 3.
Yeah, but he's the first without a belt. So yeah.
And then what about in flyweight? You hate to see injuries in any sport, but when it costs you your belt, you really feel for someone, and it's so innocuous. So the flyweight championships between Josh Van and the incumbent champ Alexandra Pantoja. Watching it, I didn't even see it the first time. He just falls on an extended elbow, much like Jaden Daniels did a month ago in
dislocated in
the NFL, and has that posterior dislocation of the elbow. He knows straight away he's reaching, and then Josh Van celebrated like you would celebrate, I guess, to be the UFC champ.
It's technically a win.
Some people didn't like the optics of that. It's an interesting story for Van.
Yeah,
he's a refugee essentially from Myanmar, formerly Burma, and lived there till 10, I think, and then
migrated to the USA at age 12.
Yeah, so, and I think Houston based, and get our first Burmese champion in the UFC. So certainly,
he's been on a pretty impressive run lately.
Yeah,
he
obviously
flew up the rankings.
Obviously, that fight, you probably don't want to see people win like that, but his 6-win streak like that, he was knocking guys out.
Yeah,
and really exciting. And I think Dana probably just gives Pantoja some time to heal up and give him another shot at some stage.
I think the rematch makes sense, especially for him. Again, he's a guy that's been dominant in that division since
If the Daniels injury is anything to go off as well, he may not need super long time. Again, I haven't seen the results of his scans. We had this conversation 6 weeks ago.
Yeah,
sort of about was there fracture and how much ligament damage was there.
Yeah, but yeah, since he took the belt from the Figgy Moreno kind of conversation, he's had it for many a year.
Was the second flyweight fight in this one. Japanese fighter Sasuro Taira, I think I've said that right. Brandon Moreno beats the former champ with a TKO. Flies up the rankings. He's 18-1 and sits 3 in the flyweight division. So probably one to keep an eye on, I would say.
Yeah, it can very easy to be quick moving in the flyweight division. So yeah, an interesting one there. The bantamweight fight there was Henry Cejudo's. He lost. He fought throughout, but he was pretty much dominated, and he will retire for a second time, and this one will be a bit more permanent, given his age at 38.
Incredible comeback to come back and win as well. Post return. Did he?
I don't think he got the belt back.
No, he did. No, he didn't win any actually. So
he fought for the belt against Sterling.
Yeah. I was remembering incorrectly. So he's
that was a split decision. It was a very close first.
Yeah, so he had 3 years out nearly to the day from May 2020 to May 23. Loses that bantamweight championship to Aljamain, and then it's a few killers really. Tavalishvili, Song Yadong, and now this one to Peyton Talbot, and leaves his gloves in the octagon.
They're not no names. So.
No.
Yeah. So he finished up, retires. And then we're interesting in the light heavyweight. We had a draw.
Don't see it too often.
No.
What do you think about the scoring there, right? So it's a majority draw.
I didn't see it, but I wonder if there was an eye poke in this. And they've been pretty hard on points deductions. So I wonder if one of them got a points deduction.
But if you have, I suppose it would be it would be counter to the way that you do wins and losses. But if you have 2 guys that have it at a draw and then one guy scores it to one guy, I know it's a lot of power to one judge, but should that be a tiebreaker to avoid ties?
Yeah, but that's why they do the majority. So it's a majority draw because 2 of them said it was a draw.
Yeah,
so,
agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
devil's advocate here.
Yeah, historically how they've done it, but I wonder if that's the scoring because of a deduction, whereas there has to be a 9-9 round there somewhere.
Yeah, so Blachowicz and Guskov ends in a draw. No main cards, like we said, for another 6 weeks.
And then there's one more fight night next week.
A lot of the chat for 2026 is who's going to be on this White House card.
White House card.
Yeah.
Trump said there's going to be 8 title fights on it.
8?
So,
how many main event?
There'll be one main event, but
it's going to be the biggest fight card.
Been a lot of rumors that Pereira is going to vacate and go to heavyweight. Yeah,
crazy man.
But
he looks big enough to fight at heavyweight.
Yeah, he probably can carry enough weight. But
you think about how long it took Jones to put on the weight. He took 18 months out to do it. So it'd be a big call for Pereira. But
I think John Jones' opponent probably makes more sense than trying to go up to more natural heavyweights in Aspen and Garn, for example. But that fight needs that. But again, you'd say before that. So whether that means the heavyweight division's not involved in that card, and then we get a whole bunch of title fights for the other stuff. I don't know. They haven't announced anything. It's all probably.
Speaking of heavyweights, we spoke a little bit last podcast about Dana on Andrew Schultz's podcast and didn't have the best words or best things to say about former heavyweight champ Francis Ngannou. You got a note there about maybe clarifying a few things?
Yeah, he's backtracked. It made it less aggressive. It was more like he wanted to leave to go to a conversation, and Francis put a hand on his shoulder and said, "Hey, we haven't finished." Versus, "You picked me up and please land me on the wall." And
Eric never said that on Schultz's podcast either, but had insinuated that there was
more aggression and
exactly
physicality to it than probably really was. But and that also comes with the fact that Francis has been saying his PFL deal's almost up and he'll be a free agent. So
how old is he?
Whether he wants to run it back in the UFC.
To see Francis Ngannou in the UFC again.
Yeah, especially where the heavyweight division is at the moment. 39.
He's old. He is old. Still looks very scary though.
Yeah. And then I guess to finish our fighting, Paul versus Joshua is the next weekend. That is happening, and there's been reports about Fury versus Joshua sometime next year. with both of them potentially doing a fight earlier in the year to kind of line that up. So that'll be interesting. But we'll see what Jake Paul does against Anthony Joshua in this one.
So Friday night their time, so it'll be
Saturday.
a Saturday Arvo thing over here, and it's PPV on Netflix.
No, if it's on Netflix, it'll probably be freebies because you subscribe to Netflix.
Wow.
Yeah,
I might.
that's what the Mike Tyson was. If the
Mike Tyson fight's anything to go back, I want 2 hours of my life back.
Yeah, we'll see.
I might keep an eye on that.
I think Anthony Joshua might be a step up.
Yes, he's not. He's not 60 years old. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
That's happening.
Joshua's 36. Imagine. Yep, keep an eye out for that one next week. That's probably the biggest thing happening in the fight world, I guess, before Christmas.
Finish F1?
Yeah, let's do it.
We got it.
Last segment from the last ep for a while.
Yep.
Bastian Vettel.
So Max wins that race in Qatar. He finishes first. Oscar does get second place for another podium. But Lando finished fourth, and that was enough points to win the Drivers' Championship. He finished 6 points clear of Max Verstappen. So, of course, a bit of a sad day there for old Oscar, especially as Australia's fans.
Yeah.
A lot of talk, especially in our media, about McLaren heavily favouring Lando to get him the win in the Drivers' Championship. And I guess that kind of makes sense. Like, he's been on that team since, since they kind of came back and wanted to grow.
Resurgence sort of era.
Yeah, resurgence. Like, they've backed him. So if anyone was going to get the results of being their Drivers' Championship, you'd think they would favour Lando. And maybe that was the case.
Highly disappointing for Australian F1 fans. Haven't had an Australian champ since Alan Jones in 1980, so 45 years. However, in terms of F1 as a spectacle, and for me as a sort of more casual F1 fan, for it to go to the last race with three potential results on the cards, an intriguing season.
Yes, definitely intriguing season. So next year will also be very intriguing. We get a new team. So we'll have 22 cars, new regulations, new cars. It's a new era essentially. So we'll see what comes of that because the end of the ground effect cars, DRS is gone too. That won't be in next season. So it's kind of a big reset for the whole teams. And there already been some rumours floating around about Oscar's going to Aston Martin, Oscar's going to Red Bull in 2027. I think it's basically it's like see who's good in 2026 and sign with a good team in 2027 is the chat. So. We'll see what next season has, but likelihood is we might have some upstarts.
Are we seeing just a changing of the guard in sport in 2025? We've seen Max Verstappen not win the F1 after 4 in a row. We've seen the Penrith Panthers.
Well, I think you think like Lewis Hamilton didn't have a podium this year. I don't think.
Well, the Chiefs aren't going to be there. Doesn't look like in the NFL.
Yeah. Post-COVID era is
like
kind of
changing of the guards though. Like Max Verstappen,
still very good. Still very
He'll
good.
be there next year.
Maybe more just street,
just a bit of a
street breaking, across multiple sports.
Just an upset year.
jump off one bag and hop on another.
And you look at Penrith, there's no reason why they can't be good next year. You look at the Chiefs, well, Mahomes is still there. Still could be good. There's no reason why Max Verstappen can't win more F1s. But,
exactly.
So maybe more just a street-breaking year than
a sabbatical year for a few of these champions.
It's nice to see.
That's it.
Anything else to add from an F1 perspective?
No, they're basically in the off-season now. Helmut Marko's retiring essentially from Red Bull. So, there's not a huge amount of...
That's a massive changing of the guard for Red Bull.
Yeah, they're basically changing over the whole lot. So
has Horner committed with a team?
Nope.
Yep. No.
Nope. So
do you think he might have a year off?
Maybe. Likelihood is
he's pretty much had this year off.
Yeah, well, likelihood is someone will get sacked next year and he'll walk straight into whatever role that is if he wants it. So
all the press is negative, it seems. It's unlike the British press to be negative against British people. But
well, there was rumours he was going to Aston Martin, and then Adrian Newey, they bumped him up and made him team principal instead of their chief engineer. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But
Yep.
That's
F1. That's the podcast. That's the year on the Esky. We, speaking of sabbaticals, we're going to have a little hiatus ourselves, given that us two are moving house, which means this studio is getting packed up. And there'll
New
be
studio upcoming.
We a bit of a
some sort of reboot at some stage. We're not exactly sure when. It would have been lovely to get through the Ashes, but anyways, we'll
yep.
Yeah, well, it should happen.
hopefully
Might
talking
still
about
do.
5-0 next time on. hopefully,
That's it.
hopefully no clips of England look nowhere near it, and they haven't won for 15 years, and you know they're going to
that's
do
it.
their best to win one game this Ashes. Hopefully, none of that comes back to bite us on
After
the arse.
everything we said tonight, yep.
Has happened on the podcast in the past. Thank you to anyone that has listened throughout 2025 and previous years. We will be back
Definitely
at some
appreciate it.
stage. We don't have a date set at the moment. It will be in a new studio, I guess, the next time we're podcasting.
That's
Thank you,
it.
boys.
Until then, thank you, boys. Thank you. Have a Merry
Thank you.
Christmas. Enjoy your Christmas to you and yours. And we'll see you in 2026 on The Esky.
Bye.
Bye.